1, 2. Can you hear me?
Sounds
Mic
good.
check. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. So when we gonna start our rap group, yo?
When you learn how to rhyme.
When you can bankroll that shit.
You mean 4 old niggas?
For real.
Four niggas with attitudes.
All right, ladies and
Exactly.
gentlemen, welcome to the Mighty Jade Empire podcast. I'm DJ Justin Love. To my left, we got John B. Washington. To my lower left, we got Mike. And we got Mr. Mysterious below me,
Eat a
Eugene
magnificent.
Black Dragon 79. Because,
I'm going by my rapper's name. Eat a magnificent.
nah, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm not calling you that.
Ever. Ever.
Mm-mm.
I'll call you Easy E.
Ever, ever.
No, that's been used already.
So what's going on, fellas? How's your weekend so far?
My weekend. Well, we start with the man at top. He was always working on weekends, Mr.
Actually,
John B.
yeah.
Washington.
How was your weekend, John?
Oh, my weekend was good. I didn't work this weekend.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah. Today's my day off. Well, yesterday and today my day off. But then I worked this whole week. I only have off Friday.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Been chilling, just working. COVID's much better.
You
They're
feeling
trying
better?
to move. Yeah, they're trying to move most of the COVID patients out of Hopewell and over to regional. Something with funding or something the other with FEMA.
Okay.
Something with the government. I forgot what. I was like, all right, whatever.
Regional over on Brunswick Avenue.
Yeah, they're moving over there. Moving most of the patients over to there.
It sound
They
like it's
get,
actually quieting down.
it is.
Nah, not really. Sad
It's
truth
quite no.
is,
We're
It's
waiting for a little distraction to pass, right?
we have
well,
seen from the news I've been watching, we have seen spikes in states that have reopened.
yep. There's going to be spikes in states that reopen,
Over 20,000
especially with the
cases in a day
protests
in
and
some
people
states.
walking around. It's like,
And here's the thing, don't get distracted by the protests and the rioting as related to COVID. Because what's going to happen is
mhm.
you're going to see these spikes in these states where they've reopened of 20,000 cases a day. And they're going to say, oh, it's because of the protests and the rioting. No, it's because you guys opened up. In about 7 more days, that's when we'll see the spikes from the protests.
Correct. So the spike right now is from opening up in
Yeah.
about sometime next week by the weekend. By next week is when you start to see more if it's a true spike because of the protest. Then they can blame the protest. It takes
Yeah.
about 2 weeks.
Yeah, you gotta
Incubation
think it's been about 2 weeks now since Memorial Weekend.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And we didn't do shit, so I guess we in the clear.
Because we're the smart ones. And John is the
No,
brave one.
I ain't that brave because I walk into the rooms. I treat every single solitary patient as if they got COVID. for
As
the
you
simple
should.
fact that
You're supposed to.
you got these people that are walking in. Part of the triage when you ask people what's going on with them and why they're there. One of the last questions that they ask them is if they have any medical conditions that we should be aware of. And oh, by the way, yeah, I'm COVID positive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Should I stab you
So I
now or
told
later?
yeah, exactly. So I told the nurses that are up in triage because I was up there one day and I was like, what? And I wear my mask no matter what.
Right.
So I told the nurse and I was like, yo, I says you need to change your way of questioning. And the first question you need to ask is there any chance that you COVID positive? And I told my charge nurse and told the boss, they were like, you know what, that's what we're gonna lead with. Because
Right. I feel
people
that.
they just they lose focus on all the little minute things. They're quick to bring up the current uproar that everybody's in, but forget those are other aspects of, your health and everything, and they just get lost in the mix. And oh yeah, by the way, and it's like, dude, come on.
You
I ain't
should have
trying to
said
be
that
that
first.
yeah, like I'll come out and tell them, I'm like, you're supposed to lead with that. And the nurse will look at me. I'm like, look, at the end of the day, I want to go home. You want to go home. This patient want to go home.
Right.
Point blank period.
Sorry for being late. I didn't get the notification from Discord
That's
that
it.
the
Kick him
call
out. Kick him out.
started.
Kick him out.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, whatever.
What's up, man?
Not much. Ooh,
How's Delaware
Yes.
treating you?
not in Delaware yet. Still self-quarantining. Got another
Damn,
couple
man, you got
days.
a big forehead, bro.
Shut up, man.
Like you look down. I was like, damn. You sure you ain't balding? And that's just like
No,
a
I'm
wig
not.
or something?
No,
Like
I'm not
China
balding. I'm not
It
balding.
looked like
I don't know that.
it
forehead
looked
says
like it,
otherwise,
brother.
man. Hey, I'm just calling it how I see it. Just saying.
Look, we all can go through your Facebook pictures and see when your hairline was closer, a little bit closer to your eyebrows. Now it look like that shit is running away.
Look, at the end of the day, this is how I look as far as balding goes. At the end of the day, you black. You can work. You can. Hell, we can rock that shit.
Exactly. Even you lumps. That's what I'm gonna call you lumps. You thinking about there you go.
Just kill Mike's whole self-esteem.
Right? just like that. Yeah, I'm about to just put a nail in the coffin. You're like, yeah, you might as well just get. I should just get. Fuck you, baby.
You good, Mike? Don't let that boy fuck you. Damn. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as Mike fades black, we like to introduce Julian. What's up, man?
Not much. Literally just. I was working on some D&D stuff earlier. My game got canceled today, so here.
Why you self-quarantining, Julian?
Glad you could join.
Because I worked at McDonald's, and I didn't want to take a chance getting my aunt and my mom and my brother sick when I finally do move in with them. Better
Oh,
safe
so
than sorry.
You took a whole 2 weeks off?
Technically, yeah.
Sweet. Smart move. Smart move.
Yeah, but that's about it. I've just been chilling, honestly.
That's what's up.
Who's that little green square? I don't know who
Franco.
That Frank's in the building.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all?
Chilling?
Hey,
What up, Frank?
Julian, can you hear
Can
me?
y'all hear me clear?
Yeah, we can hear you.
let me check.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Just give me 1 second.
Let me know if I'm clipping or not.
I got Frank all the way up, so you sound like.
Yo, has anybody been outside?
Yeah, right for you. Right.
Yes.
I was outside.
Yep, I just came inside.
Nice
I'm
as
trying
hell.
to go outside and get my skin melted off.
Shit kind of sucked.
Justin actually cannot hear you on stream
Like it all?
at all.
Hold on a second.
It is so gorgeous out.
Yes, it is. It's a nice breeze.
Yes, my windows is open.
How about now, Julian?
Oh, it's only 79 out. It's gonna be 50 tonight. So I'm up my window tonight.
Julian, can you hear me on screen now?
Hell yeah.
Now Julian went mute just now.
Oh shit!
You're really quiet.
God damn it!
Julian, you ate your Happy Meals?
Mic check.
What was
1,
that?
2,
Are you
mic
hungry
check,
yet?
1, 2.
Not yet.
Hold on, let me
Let's start
help
with
Justin with this real quick. Sorry.
Not you, Julian. The others.
I'm probably on camera.
Mic check 1, 2. Jules, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, you're real quiet, Justin.
Yeah, you are quiet.
Mic check 1, 2. Mic check 1, 2.
I'm hearing you just fine. Let me turn you up, Justin.
Well, you
Not on
guys are gonna
Discord,
hear me
just on
through
the stream.
Discord. Like you can hear me in the stream, Gene.
You're real quiet, Justin.
I'm not watching the stream right now because I ain't want to.
Exactly.
I
You
ain't.
can hear me in
Yeah, you
Discord.
are quiet. Check 1, 2. Mic check 1, 2. I'm hearing you just fine. Let me turn you up, Justin.
Probably coming from the stream.
Not on
now.
Discord, just on the stream. You can hear me in the stream, Gene? You're real quiet, Justin. I'm not watching the stream right now because I ain't want to.
Yeah,
I
you know
think
what I mean?
sound better now. I can hear myself through your whatever you guys are doing over there.
Might come from Discord, just on the stream. You can hear me in the stream, Gene?
Yeah, I think it's weird. You're coming through perfectly fine on Discord, but it's very quiet on stream.
I am too loud on stream.
Yeah, you seem loud on stream. You might want to go in.
Well, you can turn his ass down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
quiet as well. I don't know why I sound so loud. Like, yeah,
yeah.
fix that.
Yo, I had to, on a side note, I had to report this. You know how you get into them people send you like group messages for nonsense.
Right.
Somehow, some person that's not even my friend included me in some group message. I guess it wasn't even in the tower, but he included me in some message, and dude was like, "Oh, you cunt, you fucking nigger." I was like, "What?"
Wow. What?
What was that on
Like
PlayStation
straight,
4?
like straight put it in the message, in the PlayStation message, and I reported that shit to PlayStation.
They will definitely do something about that quickly.
I
That's
included the
crazy as
message. I
shit,
included
yo.
a screenshot of the message, everything.
And this came about why? Because you were playing Destiny, he lost to you or something? Or was just
Nah,
random
it was
asshole?
nothing. It was just a group message, because it was a message about the event. That's why it was a message about the event. Somebody had sent it, and they were like, "Oh," they said something dumb about it. Hold on, I'm going to my messages right now.
I don't understand. Like, unless you have an actual picture of yourself that people that aren't on your friends list can see, how do people even know to even call you that?
If you're even black.
Hold on a second. Can y'all back up a little bit because I got a phone call that jacked up my sound. Now I'm just kind of jumping in. What's going on?
What's up, Franco?
So,
Huh?
Justin, sound a little bit better, so a little quiet, but
Yeah, I turned my mic up on my soundboard. I'm hoping it helps.
And BB was telling us about the guy who just jumped in his PlayStation
I
chat.
I gotta turn some people down because I could barely hear you. I have a bunch of y'all loud as hell for some reason.
Was it a party chat or inbox?
Oh, PlayStation deleted the message from my thing, but I got a screenshot of it.
so what happened?
Let me see. Hold on.
Somebody called him.
It wasn't just me. They were calling somebody. I don't know who. It wasn't. I don't think it was directed at me, because I don't never reply in those damn messages. I never reply in them.
Some random stranger included him in a group message calling someone else a nigger.
Oh, nice.
Damn it! I don't have it on my PlayStation. I have it on my phone.
I got a Discord question. So, on one of y'all, it looks like I have a muted. Never mind. It's gone.
What was that?
That's
I guess you had muted me.
I muted myself.
Oh, you muted yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go get that little microphone and someone mutes themselves.
I usually throw that out there when everybody's debating and talking, so that way they don't get any background noise from me. Especially after last week when I was taking the garbage out.
Yeah.
By taking the
I do it
garbage
just
out,
so I do it to
shit.
try to limit the amount of stream when I'm trying to make sure everyone sounds good on stream, so we don't get that feedback or the echo. Yeah, that's what I was looking
I
for.
included that message in the Discord chat.
Yeah, John, that's definitely a fake account.
No, it's a real account. The dude had 390 something friends. We had mutual friends in there, mutual followers. It was a legit account. He had
for the history.
a Destiny player. He had triumphs and trophies and this, that, and the other. I blocked his ass and reported him.
19586. Who the fuck was he talking to?
No, the original message, the dude was like, he said, the dude included a picture of the tower. Oh, it was a picture of the Almighty.
Okay.
And that was it. Some dude included a picture of Almighty. He was standing up by Shax, and that was it.
Sad truth is probably some young kid too.
It
Well,
always some young kid.
Because they like to be
Yeah,
edgy
he was
playing
from-
video games and
he was
shit. Or they
Russian.
think it's edgy anyway.
Oh, he is actually the guy is one of my friends. I don't know who he is. I don't remember playing with him.
Dante, whatever.
No, not him, but the guy that originated the message. Because people changed their name on the PlayStation, and I don't know who the hell they are, and they only did that
Right.
that carry the original name for like a month.
Yeah, I think it was like a month.
Yeah.
So I don't know who the hell he is. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm gonna presume that I haven't played with you lately because I don't know the name.
I don't. That reminds me, I gotta go purge some of my friends list stuff on my PlayStation because I don't fucking know about half the people on there
God damn
anymore.
it.
Second I get added to one of them group chats, I immediately bought Printer asked me.
What's up?
Hey, Franco. Franco,
Yeah, I'm here.
I must say, that picture you posted, you was looking real pretty, brother.
Which picture?
The black man or whatever it was, using the car,
Oh,
all
thank
fresh
you.
and shaved and clean. You was looking pretty.
Thank you. That was me letting my Dominican side out a little bit.
You need to help. You need to help Forehead Mike out. He looking homeless
Forehead,
right now.
listen, Mike need. I done told Mike this over and over again years and years ago. You a grown ass man now. It's time to let that I want to have braids go because all you doing is exposing that forehead. That's all
You
you
just got
doing.
over that. Oh, he gonna go to black now.
Don't be the guy. Don't be the guy with cornrows that start on the back part of your head. Post the pictures talking about hang time. Ain't no hang time. Closest thing to hang time is hanging on. That's what it is. It's trying to hang on for dear life.
Looking like a Shaolin monk, huh? That's his goal. That's what you're really trying to do.
He's trying to grow that ponytail and have that shaved forehead in the front.
Yeah,
Mm,
like this.
looking like Samuel L. Jackson from.
Look.
Jackie
Forehead goes
Brown.
so far back that if he joined the military, he would salute like this. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, the forehead started back there. You know what I mean? Mike, don't sit there with the face like you don't know we talking about you.
Okay.
God damn. So
Why you think
Mike
Junior
forehead
keep that to his knee?
forehead look like his kneecap after they shaved down the bone spurs.
oh shit.
You couldn't even hide that one. You couldn't deny that one. That was good.
That's not a damn. That's a goddamn.
He tried to hold that in. He knew what it was. He knew what time it was.
I hate y'all.
So how
I
is your
love
knee,
the
Mike?
fact that you hate me.
Yo,
My D is doing a whole lot better. I ain't trying to jump rope or nothing, but I'm doing better.
That's
Amen
good.
to that, sir.
That's what's up.
I think my
All
goal
jokes
for next year
aside.
is to actually, I want to try to at least jump off of at least about like 3 feet and see if I make a sturdy landing.
Mm. You better be careful, bro.
Or your goal could just be to walk comfortably without pain.
Yeah, that's
Don't fucking push the envelope and you don't have to.
Exactly, bro.
Mike, we are at that age now.
I don't
You-
want to
That is
believe
true.
it.
What up, True?
I don't want to believe
What
it.
up?
What's up, True?
Hey, yo,
He said
hey,
he
yo,
don't wanna
Mike.
believe it.
I see you out here rocking the same haircut as me, dog.
I can't tell you that feeling, yourself.
He's homeless. He's homeless.
If you were smart, you wouldn't show yourself. BB's on the road.
La da dee, la doo da.
Oh my god.
Your hair just like me. You look homeless. Look homeless. Got this big forehead.
Now,
That's
the
what
only
it
thing I
come
can
down
talk
to.
about is Destiny. I can't talk about PS5 because I ain't looked up enough. I don't want to be disappointed. I want to be pleasantly
don't think about
surprised. I'm still gonna buy one no matter what.
If I know
I don't
me,
watch wrestling.
I'm not gonna buy one until a game I want comes out for it.
Same.
Yeah.
That's what I did with PS2, 3, and 4.
I'm almost.
I'm not going.
So,
I'm not going
that's
to be a
kinda-
push adapter.
That's kind of the same thing with me. I usually don't get the next gen system for the first few months or at least until something I really, really want on it comes out.
Oh yeah.
And like honestly, I think I got my PS4 when what was it came out?
God of War, right?
No. God of War. I had PS4 before God of War.
I didn't get my PS4 until Destiny dropped.
Came out closer to the end of PS4.
What was it came out?
Not that long ago.
Oh, Infamous. I bought my PS4 when Infamous came.
Oh yeah, that was so damn good.
Okay, yeah, it's around.
That was actually what got me my PS4. And then that's what got me my yeah. That's what got me my PS4.
How fast?
And then I got the God of War one. When God of War came out, I got my Pro.
Okay.
So I had the regular PS4, and then they were dropping God of War, and I was like, hey, here's a reason for me to actually get a Pro, because they have a special limited edition one. And that's why I got my PS4 Pro. Okay. So although I definitely want the PS5, and I'm going to get it, I don't rush to get them unless it's, absolutely something coming out. Now, if they release some crazy shit for Destiny as soon as PS5 come out, and I have to have a PS5 to do it, then that'll be my PS5 jump on.
I just hope it ain't some costly bullshit to go from one system to the next. Like, I better not have to pay more than $30.
I can't say a system being no more than $500, and hopefully games won't be $90 moving forward.
No, that's not. The price of games themselves aren't going to change. I can't see that happening. What I'm saying.
I mean, over time they go up a little bit at a time, but inevitably they're not going to jump up no fucking $100.
No,
out of nowhere.
One last night, the price of games went up.
Well, the price of games hasn't gone up for years. Like, there was a time when they were $49, and this was like up until the late 90s, and then they finally went up to $60 to $59, and they've been stuck at $59. Video games prices don't change very much. The only time there's a real fluctuation was the Nintendo 64, just because cartridges are more expensive to produce. So yeah, you'd run into that $70 or $80 64 cartridge.
Look, I think Mario 64 was like what, almost $80 when that shit came out.
It might have been something like $70 at least.
When you first seen that shit.
Yeah.
But Nintendo 64, because they were cartridges, they cost more.
I feel like I was paying like $49 for games all the way until PS4 came out. And I don't remember jumping up to $60 until PS4 came out. I could be wrong. Until PS4 and Xbox One, I feel like it went up that $10 after like 3 generations or whatever.
I'm gonna say like around when PS3 dropped.
Yeah, games went up. Only reason I really remember is that because I was working at Blockbuster at the time, and it was a big deal because at the time it was Blu-ray versus HD DVD, and it was PS3 versus Xbox 360.
Oh yeah,
and who was going to win that particular war?
Blu-ray
and Blu-ray came out on top. But yeah, that's when, if I remember correctly, it's around that time. That's when video games went up to about $60 a pop.
Yeah, because I remember them easily being 40.
Yeah, the time. Those were the days. But yeah, as far as PS5 goes, like, don't get me wrong. Well, I'm on the fence about getting a PS5 for Destiny specifically. Bungie already came out and said that they are definitely releasing it on the PS5, like full on, not just play the PS4 version on the PS5. And I assume it's going to be optimized for the PS5. So like less loading, like, you know how when you load into your characters, like management screen, and that shit takes forever.
That's why.
So they're gonna Rise of Iron it.
I'm not even sure I want to get the next Destiny expansion.
Oh, I'm not even talking about Destiny 3. I'm just talking about Destiny 2 on the PS5.
Fuck Destiny 3. I'm talking about the fall expansion.
You talking about what?
So
PS5.
But I definitely would not say. I'm only gonna get the PS5 when it comes out if I have the. No, fuck that. I'm only gonna buy it when I get the money for it and comfortably have the money for it.
Well, if the
Makes
PS5 if the PS5 allow me to play PS4 games, I just trade my Pro in, call it a day.
Oh no, they said that from the rip.
That might help.
I'm not gonna get a PS5 until everyone else
Backwards
gets a
compatibility.
PS4.
Yeah.
So y'all who want to be first adopters, please go at it. Beta test it for me. Find all the bugs and glitches so they can fix it and update.
No, I feel
So
that.
we know more about to say we'll learn more about all that shit when they eventually have that presentation they delayed.
Yeah, that presentation what this week wasn't it or last
It
week?
got canceled.
It's supposed to be a couple days ago.
Other crisis happening in America.
You know what? You know what? I don't.
It was a smart decision.
The only reason why
Yeah,
I
no,
would
I
get
agree
the
with that.
original one. The only reason why we get the original one is because remember when what was it, PlayStation 3 or 4, when they originally, the very first one that they rolled out before they rolled it back, they had backwards compatibility.
Oh
And
yeah,
then
that was
PS3, the big body PS3,
Yeah,
That was the
but it
first
was
one.
only
Gig
it was
model.
only a certain one of that one. A lot of people forgot because remember it came in like 3 memory sizes,
Yeah,
and it was
we had-
only one memory size was backwards compatible all the way back to
that was 60 gig.
PlayStation.
Yep,
That-
and I'm afraid that that'll happen again. And the vast majority of the time, when they have those types of glitches and stuff that they have to update with the systems, it's all just software updates. None of the hardware actually changes. The only reason why they stopped the backwards compatibility with the PS3 was because it was just an added extra expense.
Yeah, that
And
shit was
people weren't-
expensive. They were putting physical PS2 parts in PS3s, and that shit was expensive. And then by the time I bought a PS3, they moved from the physical parts to emulation. And when they moved to emulation, that created issues in some games. Like the original PS3s, almost every PS2 game worked.
Yep.
And my version, I bought a PS3 when they came out with the Metal Gear Solid bundle, and it was emulation, and it was funny as shit because you would put in Tekken Tag, and that shit would play like it was underwater.
Yeah,
Them dudes
well,
moved
I can
it
profess that
played, but everyone moved real slow.
I can say without a doubt that one that was backwards compatible originally was the shit, and it was the only PS3 I had until it finally died, and I ended up getting a Slim for God of War 3, the red Slim, and I kept that one for a while because it was still kind of work, but then after it stopped working, I was like, all right, but I might be going against the grain with everybody else, but I don't live or die by backwards compatibility for the most part.
You're not.
Because I'm like,
the grain. It's funny.
maybe the PS4, yeah, but PS3, I won't play a PS3 game now. So why would I play it just because I got a PS5?
I almost feel like the whole backwards compatibility issue, it's almost a gotcha question at this point. Like they come at developers like, or not even like OEMs like Sony and Microsoft, and they're like, oh, is your system going to have backwards compatibility? If it doesn't, it might be a problem, yada, yada, yada. But if you look at the real numbers, it's like some shit like 1.3% of people actually play their old games. It's like mad low. Like percentage is dumb low of people who actually do it. Everybody wants the shit. Everybody wants the shit, but the number of people that actually use it is like dumb low.
Well, again, they don't necessarily want it to actually use it. They just want it to. They just want it for the option.
But the odds are you're probably just not going
Right.
Like, folks, I got an Xbox One X, right? And I have yet to play an Xbox 360 game or an OG Xbox game on it. But I had the option.
Eugene, you don't even play current Xbox games on it.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. You talk
I play
about
Forza
how
all
your
the
Xbox
time.
X1 is a waste of money all the time.
I play Forza all the time.
You played
on my Xbox.
You played Forza all the time when you bought it. When's the last time you booted up Forza?
Yo, Franco,
see my face, Eugene? You see my face, Eugene?
Hey, your face is a meme.
All the conversations we have about you with Xbox, never once have I heard you playing that game actively. I believe you once told me that it was a glorified paperweight. You also once told me it was a glorified what was it, 4K player? You told me it was just I only use it to stream. Just
and I
fucking acknowledge that you are a Sony fan and you just happen to have an Xbox One because you came up on it some kind of way where it was a deal. Just say that.
Yeah, I was looking for a 4K Blu-ray player, and that was the best option.
I was going to say, because weren't you the same guy comparing it to Stadia a week ago?
Oh no.
Man, what the heck, yeah.
Oh.
Hey, listen, let me just put this out there too, since somebody mentioned Stadia, right? I just want to put this out there for Stadia, and I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna leave it right there. So, for the record, I am not against Stadia. I don't dislike it. I don't hate it. The bottom line is it has no impact on how I game. It's not. It doesn't interest me, and I am not among the supposed haters in our group of Stadia.
Okay.
You just can't force feed me some shit that I don't want.
Facts.
No, I'm right there with you. My opinion, let's do that. I have a pretty singular opinion of Stadia. As you said, Franco, don't hate it, don't dislike it. It doesn't move the needle for me either way. And my only real issue with it is that it's solely reliant on a unreliable resource. Like, the internet is a unreliable utility. Until we get to the point where the internet is like 100% all the time, then you can't say Stadia is as great as you might think it is. Because at the end of the day, it's only going to be as good as your internet.
It's true.
Facts.
From my conversations with people, the only person that has a genuine opinion of it is Anthony. Everybody else is like, it's all right. It's a thing.
And even his opinion is jaded.
Yeah, his is more of a I just want my purchase to feel valid opinion. Yeah.
Remember, you can play video games while on a date with Stadia.
Yo, he posted that shit
You know
on
what?
Facebook.
Let me jump in there too. Like, not to let's say I'm not defending him, right? But his whole reasoning to keep pushing Stadia down our throats and pushing it on us, it's valid for him. Like, he is somebody who, when he leaves his home to go out to dinner with his family or his wife, he wants to play video games. Or when he goes to sit in the bed with his wife to have quality time and watch TV, he wants to play video games. Or when he's sitting in a room with his actual system, he wants to sit on the bed and look at his phone and play video games. That's the niche. That's why I said it's a niche home technology for a niche group of people. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is. So for him, it absolutely is like a great system, right? Because it fits into the lifestyle he wants. So for me, I'm on the opposite spectrum of that. Once I leave my house, gaming doesn't even come to mind for me.
And he's supposed to.
Like, when I leave out the house, if I'm going to dinner, I'm out to be social with my family or with my friends. If B, you can actually acknowledge this when I come to your house and we're all hanging out and, like, you might throw the game on. I'll, like, play it for a second, and then I'm bouncing around laughing and talking and socializing. Like, gaming is something that I do at home. That's another social outlet for me to connect with y'all when we're not all together.
Right.
But once I'm all together with somebody, it just kind of fucking defeats the purpose of sitting there trying to play a video game and eat my dinner and hold an intellectual or just a social conversation with you. I like eye-to-eye contact. I like, social interaction. You know what I'm saying? I like social interaction. And, not to take it too left, but if I'm laying in the bed with my girl, I'm going to do one or two things. I'm going to watch the fucking movie we trying to watch, or I'm trying to get them goodies. But the fucking video game can wait. So that's how I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum of that. It doesn't fit into the lifestyle I'm trying to have. Whereas Anthony, he's like, he wants to constantly be connected with gaming, and even looking at the way he games, he plays console games, he plays on the Stadia, he plays phone games, he plays internet games, like he plays all these different games, and that's his thing.
Yeah.
So not defending him, but I understand where he's coming from with it. He just has this habit of, because it really fits his lifestyle and he really loves it, that he has to make us love it. And it doesn't work, right? Because for most of us, like Justin, doesn't move the needle either way for him.
Right.
And he doesn't like the fact that it strictly relies on internet. You know, for True and I don't know who is it, Andrew?
Andrew, yeah.
Yeah, we don't like it from a technical standpoint.
Yeah, you guys are really techie. Y'all tech savvy, and from a technical standpoint, y'all don't like it. And even BB, he did research on it and said, hey, this is why I don't fuck with it. That should be the conversation for us as gamers. It's like, hey, you love it, word up. I don't.
In the story.
Like me, I'll be honest with y'all. I can honestly say that I got sitting on my shelf right now 7 to 8 video games that I have not given a true run because I am heavily connected to Destiny.
Yeah.
Facts.
I'm autopiloted into Destiny at this point. You know what I mean? So, do I think Destiny's getting stale? Hell yeah. But it's like my automatic default is Destiny. That don't mean when other people get on here, I'm not gonna be like, yo, why the fuck you playing Minecraft, BB? Play Destiny. No, that's stupid. You should play Destiny.
That brings
so that's kind of how I see it.
That brings up a very good point, a perfect segue. Can we talk about the mind fuckery that Bungie has created within Destiny? Because I'm not even going to front. I will go on record as saying I'll be damned if I put any more money into this fucking game. I was so sick with Season of the Worthy. To me, it was complete garbage. I barely did any of that Seraph Tower shit. I thought it was fucking terrible. And then they released that trailer of Eris Morn on Europa.
Treasuring through the fucking ice.
Bitch.
Summoning some fucking Hive's magic ball. And I was like, yup, I'm right back in.
Yo, my dick got hard. I was like,
I'm like, every time I get out, you pull me right back in.
I was like, you motherfuckers.
I guess this is where the benefit comes in of not having played Destiny as long as y'all, because I didn't give a shit about either of the trailers they released.
I was hyped, but my hype got killed yesterday. Like, all the hype that had built up died yesterday at 1 o'clock.
In the tower for an hour and a half,
Because that bullshit.
The real issue with the event yesterday wasn't that it was so long. It's just they didn't tell anyone it was going to be that long.
Dog, it said we gonna start this at 1.
That's where I'm coming from.
I was expecting it to be 1:30. This shit took till 2:30.
And I'll give Bungie props because they took something that normally isn't tangible to us, like the skybox. The skybox is a skybox. We run into the tower. It's some random color. It's some random time of day. We really don't pay it any mind. So I give them credit for them to actually take the skybox and do something with it that is different and creative and basically almost interactive with the actual story. But in the way it was done, it was very anticlimactic.
So here's my take on it, and this is funny because after it was all said and done, I seen this one little blurb about it, and I was like pissed at Destiny because I said you had a blueprint to this, right? And you literally tried to steal this blueprint from Fortnite, right? Fortnite is a game I do not play, right? I just don't get into it. I watch my younger kids play it, but let me tell you something. That event they did with Travis Scott was phenomenal.
That shit was fire.
My kids made me stop what I was doing. They was like, Dad, Travis Scott event. I want to do it. I want to watch it. And I watched my son, Julian, with his character on Fortnite, stand in front of this giant fucking portal, watching swirling lights for like 10 minutes. And I'm like, what is this bullshit? And then as soon as Travis Scott stepped through that portal, as a fucking giant, he's performing one of my favorite Travis Scott songs, which is hilarious. And he's like interacting with the world. His footsteps are shaking the board, and he's doing different things with energy that blows the actual characters in there, and their characters were like flying through space, following Travis Scott around.
Oh my
So this
God.
was exactly the type of event. Yo, look it up on YouTube.
I mean, yeah, I'm about
it's
to
like 10
YouTube
minutes
this
long.
shit.
You will literally watch it like you're watching some gangster ass extended music video and forget you're watching Fortnite. That is exactly what Destiny was trying to emulate. And instead of them saying, hey, let's emulate this the right way, they tried to like downplay it. They could have did so much with the Almighty in that vein. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We could have seen the Rockets hit the Almighty, and I would have been fine waiting for an hour and a half for those Rockets to hit the Almighty. If once that shit fucking crashed and exploded, it took us into this whole other part of the event that was kind of like that Travis Scott event, which pulled us into it. Why aren't we flying around the board? Why aren't, why is this shit blowing up around us and we're actually physically moving our characters around trying to figure out what's going on? They could have did so much stuff with that.
Yeah.
And they really dropped the
At
ball
the
on
very
it.
least, I hope it led to a mission to the crash site.
Exactly, something. And for me, it's unforgivable that they dropped the ball like that because they had a blueprint
I
for
will
it.
come to the defense only slightly a bit because Fortnite does those live events a lot. Like there was one where they had a giant monster fight a giant robot. I watched that. It was pretty cool. Their engine was made for stuff like that. Destiny's was not. So it's pretty good that they were able to do this. However, the problem was, A, like I said, I feel like if it was going to be that long, you should have told us. And B, the aftermath was nothing.
Yeah, it was lackluster,
to
anticlimactic.
the tower. And now that thing's just out there, we're like, there's nothing stopping us from going over there, Bungie. Why can't we go over there and explore it?
Bro,
So
right.
I 100% agree with Justin.
I agree with you.
Been like, all right, as soon as that drone crashes, y'all go out there, you're exploring the wreckage, you're looking for shit. Like, even if there was nothing that major there, like that would have been cool.
For a second, let's just take it out of the realm of video games. If something that huge were to crash land on Earth, they'd send motherfuckers to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I was like, that could be a new raid.
The only thing we could do was watch it from a distance and then eventually slowly falls to Earth. Like, yeah, their system wasn't going to be able to do anything like Fortnite was. It wasn't built for that. But they didn't do a good enough job with what they had for it to be really worth it. Like, in my opinion, the minute the event started, we should have heard something from Anna say, all right, Rasputin's fired. It's going to take a while to get there. Just be calm. I'm sure he's got this. Then that happens, and boom, about to say. Then we have the event playing normally. It lands. It goes, all right, Guardians, we need to go check that out. Make sure there's nothing else, the Cabal or something else that planted, just so it doesn't fuck us over later. Like,
but no,
I mean, you can take it from that standpoint, but again, I still think they could have did something with it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, like they do these phenomenal cutscenes, these great cinematic cutscenes, and that's right along the vein of what they did with that Travis Scott event. It could have been a phenomenal cutscene. I think Bungie shortchanged it. Go ahead, True. I'm sorry, but I think Bungie shortchanged it on that.
Because we were talking about this yesterday. It was like we saw events like this in D1, like when the Dreadnought came through and he wiped out the whole fucking armada. That trailer was done so well. It did everything, and then we went straight to doing missions on the Dreadnought.
On the Dreadnought, exactly.
Like that could have been another one of them sequences where it either led to a strike, a dungeon, a raid, something.
At the very least a strike. A new strike to end the season off, get some last-minute loot, some surprise loot. Like, it's cool we got an emblem, but hell, it should have been... That's what it should have been. Instead of seeing that little piece of a broken tower, it should have been a mission to...
Yeah, it wasn't even exclusive.
Yeah, that's the other thing, too. You sat your ass in the tower for an hour and a half just for some shit that everybody would have got. Fuck that.
If it was exclusive,
wasn't even exclusive.
Honestly, I wouldn't complain if we had some exclusive emblem.
Yeah.
It literally sat there and said you sat there and wasted an hour and a half of your life to watch this go up and then go, okay, that's it. But the fact
then it said, as soon as you went to orbit, it said, hey, by the way, if you weren't one of the dicks that sat on the tower and waited for this shit to happen, go to the tower and go by Zavala and get your free emblem.
Like,
exactly.
What?
Oh, and don't forget to tune in on June 9th to watch our reveal.
whatever the fuck that's gonna be.
What fucking reveal? Isn't that when the new season starts?
Yes,
Yeah,
but they're
so
doing.
we have-
it's literally
so we
an
don't know
hour
shit.
before reset, and from what I hear on Twitter, it's going to be some of because technically they haven't even released the name of the new season yet. So
Yeah,
it's
shit
going
about
to
the new
be
season yet.
it's going to be a dive into the new season, but it's also going to be a dive into what we're supposed to get in the fall. Because that's what the Eris Morn clip is from. That's what the Drifter going to
Oh,
Europa
excuse me, guys.
is from. That's
Bless you.
going to be from the fall.
Hey.
In that what we're getting this fall.
What's up, man?
What's up?
What up, Anthony?
He been here for a minute.
Yeah,
No, I know, but he was like just quietly watching.
Mm-hmm.
I
He was
couldn't
Now
figure out
he's
how
being,
to
a,
get my
being an
video.
asshole and quietly munching fries in front of us. Thanks, Anthony.
I got I figure I try to get on here however I can pull it off.
Hey, that's what's up.
Right up. Anthony, I just want to let you know you've started a movement in my household.
Awesome.
So, you know how I bought into your whole neck holder for the phone and how I love it and you love it? Roll past Five Below, and my girl was like, yo, didn't Anthony get your neck holder from Five Below? I said, yeah, but our Five Below didn't have it. But we stopped by curbside, and I just joked around, said, hey, y'all got this neck holder? And I showed them. She's like, yeah, we just got a whole bunch of them, and you want one? My girl was like, can you give it?
Oh, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. Okay, internet's still up and running. Guys, can you hear me? What the hell?
Anthony, just hold the damn sandwich. Hold the damn sandwich up to the camera and give me a fucking bite. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of it. That a
This
Chick-fil-A?
way.
I hate you so much right now. So delicious.
I had some
Did you get extra cheese on it?
difficulty over here, but I'm back.
I don't
Oh, my
see
God.
those.
Let's say what happened.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, Six Flags, hell yeah, and they greedy too.
yeah, we just got out of the safari, so we pulled over to get McDonald's. Like, oh, let me jump in the car real quick.
Word.
Where'd you go? Six
The
Flags?
safari. Yeah. The regular park isn't open yet, but the safari is. So you just gotta stay in your car. Because remember, they
Which I
got
would
rid of
highly
it.
recommend.
Yes.
Well, no, they got rid of it, and they got the big trucks that everybody get on. But now, because of COVID, they went back to you could get in your car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I only say that because I done seen videos of people getting chipped up at the safari by the animals when they
Oh, that's
decided
like-
it'd be cool to roll their windows all the way down and look at the giraffe, it's so nice. The giraffe like, bitch, I wrap my tongue around your whole head. Take that right, get your ass out that car.
Mhm.
Facts.
And I'm a firm believer that monkeys are from the gates of hell.
Little
They
a-holes.
some
Thing
assholes.
I've heard, but all right.
Why you say that?
Man, look, monkeys is some assholes, bro. Like if they don't feel like being bothered, they literally throw shit at you.
Oh yeah, they'll let you know.
And then when they do feel like being bothered, they be like, look, motherfucker, I can squeeze through that little crack you got in your window.
Right.
Give me that sandwich. Monkeys is no joke, man.
For real.
Tear off the antenna off your car.
Yep.
Take your antenna off.
And Six Flags will look you dead in the face like that ain't our fault.
No, they tell you, like, look. We told you when you came in here.
Yeah.
Any damage to your vehicle is your fault.
Well, what they do now, they actually keep monkeys in the cage. But they don't let them run.
Oh, Anthony's connection got choppy for a second there.
What's up? You were breaking up. What'd you say?
He said they got the monkeys in the cages. I heard him.
Oh, okay.
Everybody go quiet. I can't hear nobody.
Nah, your connection's just
No,
trash.
that was on your end, boss. Yo, the signals are freaking out.
Shit.
They really are. But that
all right, so where we at with this video game thing? Because I'm itching to get to wrestling.
Yes, I want to talk about wrestling. We
okay.
I think we have stretched our video game muscle. I definitely wanted to talk about the wrestling.
This is where I'll be quiet.
Cool.
Thank God. Shut up, Evie.
Can't you just feel the love, ladies and gentlemen?
So, if I can start off, I would just like to point out that I'm very caught up on this whole thing with Drake Maverick and WWE and NXT with the whole cruiserweight tournament and actually fucking winning apparently. So, my whole thing is I love Drake Maverick. But for those of you who don't know who he is, on Rockstar Spud from TNA, I'm really confused on whether this was a work or this was a shoot, him getting fired, and then legit coming back. Because he obviously, when he put out the video on his Instagram after he found out he was getting released, and he was crying and shit, that was a shoot. He was legit crying. He was upset.
Yeah.
And his popularity, which he already was popular, his popularity surged through the roof. I'm wondering if this was a case of the Yes movement all over again for him.
That's how
you know what I'm saying? Like life imitating art. Because it was great. You actually got to see him wrestle. He's really good at wrestling as an underdog because he's so small. Like, even compared to other cruiserweights, he's really, really small. Like, he's just a small built dude, and he can sell his ass off. But when he pulls off some spots and pulls off some good moves, they look really good. So I mean, I just thought it was a great look by WWE to actually listen to the fans and bring him back. But it also threw me for a loop because you had EC3, who was also released, who actually put out this like really cool cryptic video about Rockstar Spud, saying say his name is Rockstar Spud, and saying basically like, yo, he was imminently returning to the Indies. So I thought they were going to like reunite as EC3 and Rockstar Spud and do stuff in another organization or on the Indies. But now I want to know like what the hell's going on. Like, was it a work or was it?
Well,
what do y'all think?
The EC3 thing, he did something for FTR as well. So I think he was legit. I think he was just legit doing that for like his friends. I think even as a cameo now, where you can pay him to do that type of stuff. So I don't think it was just special. I know he has a relationship with him, but I don't think there was like anything more to that than him just making that video for his friend, because he did it for some other wrestlers too. And yeah, but no, I totally agree. I do think that it was definitely, when he was released, that was real, because it's very hard to imitate the emotion he had in that video. Like, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's hard. And so yeah.
Right.
And they honestly looked at that and went, bruh, these people, I'd say he has a lot more support than WWE. I say WWE, but it was probably Vince. Thought, because honestly, like, I think they realized their mistake on that. It was like, nah, we got to keep him. There's money to be had here, because I'm pretty sure most of us have seen that post talking about If you can't make money using Drake Maverick or Rockstar Spud, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah. Totally agree with that post too, by the way. That's why, but I thought it was so cool, bro.
Yeah.
And the fact that I think he's a great performer, the fact that he was able to do all that and keep up the air that he could possibly be fired. And it also made me feel like, does he even know what happens after that? Like, is he showing up at these tapings and they're saying, hey, listen, we're going to let you win tonight so you can advance. You know, we're going to keep you for another week or two. And he's like, oh, okay. And then the next time you show up, they say, hey, listen, we're putting you in this triple threat because, you know, ratings are good. So we're going to keep you for another week or two.
I legit think they didn't tell him until that triple threat match. That's when I think they told him. Because like you don't like you want him to be able to keep up this air of I don't know if I'm still gonna win or not, but at the same time, you don't want him. About to say if you're planning on keeping him, you don't want him starting to field offers from other places that might be better than what you're gonna give him.
Right.
Yeah, facts.
Because like because I know for a fact Impact was probably chomping at the bit to offer him something.
Try to get him back, yeah.
Yeah.
And we all know AEW's out here poaching people.
Okay, I'm probably as one of the only people that watches AEW in here. I won't say for sure. I don't think AEW would have taken him, especially since they've stated recently that outside of like very few people like FTR, they were only signing athletic big men, which has kind of been true over the last couple signees.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, didn't they recently get Luke Harper?
They got Luke Harper. They got Brian Cage, Lance Archer. Yeah, so like they're just like they're signing athletic.
They're trying to bulk up their heavyweight
division.
division.
With the exception of FTR, but that's mainly because of the years of buildup that FTR and the Young Bucks have had online.
And the fact that they might be one of the best tag teams.
Oh, definitely. Like, I will go on record to say I believe AEW has the best tag division in wrestling right now.
And I think we might have been having this conversation. I told you, like, I'm not big on AEW. I didn't think it lived up right, but I definitely agree that their tag team division is where it's at.
Yeah, we had this talk the other day when we were doing trials. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, their tag division is definitely where it's at. And with you know, I'm sorry, I got to keep calling it a revival for now. but the revival going there, I think that's just a whole nother like facet of tag team wrestling they just added. Because up to that point, you got a lot of people who are like very spot heavy, a lot of flyers and stuff like that. And I like the fact that FTR brings that air of like that old school rough and tumble, tag team wrestling.
I know you're not big on AEW, but you should definitely check out the interview they did on last week's episode. Where they're like, "Look, we've come to like legitimize this division, and they legit say we're going to teach people how to actually wrestle. Like, I think they even call it the Lucha Bros because they're the exact opposite of us, and we're going to teach them how to follow the rules like a tag match."
Oh wow!
Let me ask you. They're very arrogant, but they can back it up, and I love it.
Yeah, but that's a great part of their gimmick too, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a quick favor. So WWE is more for right now, like more mainstream. So.
I will also say this. I feel like their women's division is slowly getting better because I know that's something else we talked about. How their women's division is super. It's probably one of the weakest women's divisions at the moment. Not like talent-wise, but story-wise. But it is slowly getting better. I can't hear nobody.
Go ahead, Anthony.
I don't know if I'm. Yep.
No, Anthony's gonna ask that. I'm a reserve.
Oh, okay. He's frozen for me, so I don't know what he's gonna ask.
Yeah, he's frozen on my screen too.
Yep. Okay.
Ant, can you hear us? Anthony?
He's moving and shaking.
He's frozen.
Yeah, he's frozen right now.
It's the seagulls. The seagulls.
It's Six Flags.
The seagulls like, look, bro, we want that food.
It's like, give me that fish.
Or you give us the fries. It's the fries of your friend.
Frozen, but you could hear him clearly.
Oh, me?
Yeah, I can't even hear him. He's like super choppy. He'll like buzz in, buzz out for a second. Okay, now he's moving, but I can't hear him.
There he is. He's back.
Say something, Ant.
What's up? Nope.
You
No.
are
Can't
Anybody hear him?
silent.
I can't hear him.
Got the video back. But
Hey, Ant, if you can hear us, won't you exit the call and come back in
Wait,
and
hold
see
on,
if your
keep the
sound kicks
audio.
back in? Because that's what I had to do not too long ago.
Nope.
He had audio. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, he might have to. He might have to like leave the call and come back in again.
Yeah, because on my screen he was moving, but then there was no audio.
Yeah, he done froze back up on mine.
Yeah, he's frozen again. God damn. This is a rough one today, y'all.
Well, you know what it is? The reception out there by Six Flags stuff is shitty.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Where that coming in? Oh.
I forgot Eugene was here. You know, mostly because he doesn't have a picture. And
Well, apparently he's got company.
What?
I met her. She's awesome.
Who got company? Me?
No, Eugene.
No, Anthony.
Oh, Eugene.
I mean Eugene.
Well, nobody talking about you.
I just came back in the call. Apparently he got company. I was like, wait, what did I do?
I don't know if Anthony's gonna pop back in. Oh. Okay, TV.
I'm from Mexico.
My TV decided to give me a fucking promo of Netflix.
Oh shit.
Oh, TV. Oh, you said BB.
Yeah, if you watch TV outside, not here.
What's that? Well, I'm inside right now, Eugene.
All right, so we lost Anthony, so let's continue, and hopefully he comes back, and he can still talk about what he was talking about.
Right.
So I don't keep up with AEW or TNA very much. It's
Everybody
funny
been
Hey,
I
was it
watched
Anthony?
An episode of TNA on a whim, like an old episode the other night on YouTube. Just bullshitting. I'm like, let's see what this shit used to look like.
Yeah, I see.
Saw a young ass AJ
Oh,
Styles.
there's Anthony.
I think Ant's back.
Yeah, I can hear him.
Ant, can you hear us? Are you alive?
And he's
Mr.
gone.
Lewis.
He's gone.
Anyway, back to what you
And
were
it's
saying.
gone
Justin.
again.
You said you watched
I don't
TNA
think I
recently.
ever watched the episode.
Yeah, I just watched the old
AEW.
episode of TNA on YouTube.
That still comes on?
Well, I
TNA
don't-
is now
I think-
Impact?
Yeah, TNA itself still exists, right?
Yeah, it's now
No,
Impact.
it's Impact is called now.
Right.
Just Impact.
It is going. It had a rough couple. But it had a rough couple of years, but it's starting to. I hear it's starting to pick back up. I don't really keep up with that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just
Watch the full episode.
I'm checked out on Impact at this point. It's a shit show.
So, I watched Raw and SmackDown this week.
I keep up with it.
Has anybody watched Raw and SmackDown this week before we start talking about it?
Yeah.
Talk away. I didn't watch it because I'm to the point where I'm all about NXT at this point.
Well, we got new tag women champs.
Which completely blew my mind.
Wait, which
I was
tag
actually kind
champs?
of disappointed with that outcome, man. I was like, well,
titles changed.
Oh, Sasha and Bailey, right?
On Friday,
Yep.
Sasha and Bailey, which surprised me because I thought this would have been, at least in my opinion, this would have been the last moment to really build on this whole Sasha and Bailey turning on each other, and Sasha go for the title at Backlash.
yeah.
Okay, well, so maybe not at Backlash, but I think the turn is still coming, and I think they're going to use those tag titles as a vehicle for it.
So it's going to be a double turn where Sasha
what?
stays heel and
No,
Bailey got
it's-
that same face.
Well, double turn implies that one of them's already face. I'm assuming it's a face turn from Sasha on Bailey.
Yeah, I like Bailey as a heel. I legit like she's awesome.
Yeah, that's one of the good things I can say right now on the main roster is that they let Bailey turn heel, and she's doing a great job, and they would be damn fools to turn her face anytime soon.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I don't see Bailey being a face anytime soon. win or lose.
Like that temporary heel turn, they tried to get a Becky Lynch, and it just didn't work.
Oh yeah, I didn't stick
Because
at
nobody wanted to boo her.
all. Nobody. Now hell yeah, you crazy? We love this chick way too much.
She would have to come on live TV dropping F-bombs for that shit to stick.
That probably would have.
She's a fucking man. If she came on TV talking about fuck this and that, no one would care.
Nah, she probably had to pull a Hulk Hogan.
Oh wow.
What, be racist? I mean, yeah, that would do it.
I would do it.
And she'd be here for the rest of her life.
You don't have any
But I was actually really
have
disappointed.
any,
with that. I don't know.
lost
I
sections for the
felt like
thing.
they didn't need the titles for that story at all.
Well, no, me neither. That's why it threw me. I was super confused. Like when I saw the pin.
Also,
go down,
it felt
I
like
was
they were building up Cross and Bliss versus the Iconics. Like they were not even felt like they were building that on Raw. Like I'm not blind, right? Like,
no, they were. That's where I thought that was headed.
And they just
Cross
out
and
of
Bliss?
nowhere.
Well, no, the Iconics.
Yeah, they was going for the tag belts, and they just dropped that shit.
Yeah, that was kind of weird because they actually did the tag thing, and then they lost because Peyton Royce went off, and then the other one smacked Peyton, and then they made up, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
Because like they kind of made you think like, damn, they're gonna break up, but then it's like, nope, they hit you with an iconic swerve. And then that was it. Their whole thing with the tag thing was kind of like over. They were gone again.
Yeah, that confused the hell out of me.
And I was like, that makes no sense.
They went him home with injury or wellness violation. Something got explained it.
I think it was injury.
She must have just got injured again or something.
They were literally building.
You don't have any of your
Iconics up
names
to
on
challenge on the Raw before that SmackDown.
Your Sarah Powers or nothing.
Yeah.
Now here's what I want to ask. Right now, with Bliss and Cross dropping the belts, does that mean are them two still gonna remain face, or are they gonna break them up as a team?
I think they'll remain face because what are they doing with Nikki Cross outside of that tag team situation?
Before
Honestly,
tag
at
team
this point, I
situation
think
was
it's looking like a triple threat match at Backlash for the titles.
When is Backlash? In like 2 weeks?
Next Sunday, I think.
Well,
Oh,
here's
the
what
WWE
kills me because if I'm not mistaken, was there a pay-per-view in May?
There
I
was.
don't remember.
What was it?
Money in the Bank. Money in the
Right,
Bank.
there was a five. There were
Money in the
five. They had
Bank,
5
okay.
weeks off. There were 5 weeks off between WrestleMania and Backlash, which I was thankful for because goddamn, there were too many pay-per-views between January and April.
No, Money in the Bank just happened.
Thank you. That was it.
It just seemed like it's been so long because usually Backlash is. Oh wait! Oh, they're doing shit way out of order.
We need to have a pay.
When do they ever do shit in order? But yeah, no, you're right. It was
They're
Money in
doing
the
shit
Bank
out of
happened,
order,
and
that's
then
the fuck one because usually Money in the Bank doesn't happen till isn't that like 2 pay-per-views after WrestleMania?
Yep.
Normally.
Backlash is usually after
It's
WrestleMania.
usually the first. That's why I'm getting confused. It's got me fucked up because I'm thinking Backlash is usually the first pay-per-view after Mania, but they did Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
Move.
Oh, Ant, what was that question you were going to ask earlier?
Oh no, I was gonna say we already started talking about wrestling, but I was gonna say I just wanted to hear. I heard a little bit of y'all talking about the cloud streaming, and I know we're putting on the show, so people are watching, and you guys mentioned my name, so I wanted to at least kind of say a little something about it. But we already kind of jumped in wrestling.
Okay.
But
No,
I feel
go
like as a
ahead. What's this
product- Yeah, I just feel like as a product and a show, you got people gonna watch it and they're gonna hear people mentioning somebody and referencing, but that person never say anything. You know, so I feel like it's kind of like.
No,
but I could
go
always
ahead.
just
You
wait
can.
there.
Yeah, say something. What's up?
Go for it.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, I didn't hear all of what y'all said. I just caught the end, so I don't know everybody's perspective. I'll watch it later. No, my whole thing was like, as a gamer, like I heard Franco saying, well, Ant likes to play it all the time or all over. And so originally when I heard of cloud gaming, again, everybody say Stadia, but it's everybody has a form of cloud gaming, not just Stadia. But when I first heard of it, I thought like originally thought because when we went on vacation in August, my wife was like, "Oh, don't bring your PlayStation." I'm like, "Yo, you know how much downtime it is on vacation when we're gone for 8 days." So when cloud streaming was coming out, I was like, "Yo, this would be cool because for me, I could just take a phone and a controller and not have to worry about taking my system." So that's just one thing, right? Or I could hook up to somebody's TV in the hotel room. So I thought, like, gaming, like if I'm on a trip for 8 days and how we used to be so hardcore in Destiny, it'd be cool if I could still play on Destiny. I wouldn't have to miss, when it's downtime. But so that was cool to me. I think for me, cloud gaming is just it's some key things that to me as a gamer is cool, and that's why I bring it up. Not that you guys have to like it, but I feel like sometimes I just feel like as a gamer, I like the neck thing, right? So Franco admit, like the neck thing is kind of cool. It comes in handy. It's convenient. So even when there's certain stuff that's convenient as far as cloud gaming, no one wants to say it, and I feel that's just the stuff that bothers me because I feel like as a gamer, I can't be the only one that would think no downloads, no installs, no game copy would be kind of neat, As a gamer, like last Wednesday, I was able to I had no power in my house, but I was able to still put on my stream without power. So as a gamer, I feel like stuff like that is kind of cool, and I feel like sometimes, to be blunt, I feel like sometimes you guys just intentionally, I don't know if you're trying to round me up or intentionally just like, oh, if Anthony like it, I don't like it, and so but yeah, I mean, I love technology. I love, obviously, you know me, folding phone and all that. I like when something new comes out. I bet I probably would have been the first person going crazy for the microwave when it was first thought of. And a lot of people was like, "What? Man, I'd rather boil my food in the on the pot." But yeah, that's my whole thing with cloud gaming. That's my point. Just wanted to throw that in.
All right, when I
And I
get done,
think the technical side too, I get like Andrew and B said they did some research, whatever. But what I will say is a lot of people has a lot of points of it, but no one but me actually owns it. So I feel like it's okay to do research, but no one actually used it. So I feel like because there's a lot out there that make it look bad, but it's not as bad as what people think. And I feel like it's so easy to be like, yeah, I read and I've seen that technically this is terrible, but it's like I use it on a daily basis, weekly basis. I'm like, man, it's crazy because it's not what people say. But that's it.
All right. If I can, real quick, just to give you more of an idea of what we talked about, I actually kind of like filtered it because somebody said something about Stadia, and I said, hey, I wanted to address something that goes back to that because if we were talking specifically about Stadia and that thing, and what I pointed out was that for me, it's not that I'm pro Stadia or against Stadia. What the big thing for me was that it doesn't benefit my gaming lifestyle, was what I said about me. And then I said about True and Andrew, and that was the fact that, they're these techie guys and they go by the tech. And that's why they kind of they don't like it, or they do like it. I can't say what they do or don't, but they go based off of their knowledge of the technology. And then I can't remember what kind of B's thing was. B would have to say it. Our biggest thing was I'm in support for any technology that comes out to do with gaming, and that's cool. But it's like it gets to a point where like not everybody's gonna like everything, and then after a while, it's like that's why I used to say like the beating the dead horse thing. I was like, you can love something, and that could be 100% your thing, but you can't make other people love it too. And I use Destiny as an example for me because I could point out 5, 6, 7 games I got sitting on my shelf that I literally have not touched. And these are like fucking great games. Like, because I'm so hardwired on Destiny right now, even though I can admit that Destiny is stale right now. But I'm hardwired on it. So when I turn my system on, I load Destiny up and that's what I play. But I don't go to the next person and say, hey, B, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm playing Minecraft. I'm like, yo, why the fuck you playing Minecraft? Come play Destiny, because Destiny is this and Destiny is that. Come play Destiny, come play Destiny, come play Destiny. You know what I mean? That's what I was talking about, because I guess there's been this little uproar within our group about the whole Stadia thing. It's like, after a while, like, we get it. Somebody loves something, you gotta let that shit go and just enjoy what you enjoy and let everybody else learn on their own, in their own time, in their own place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you're talking about two different things. So, for instance, if you like shooter games,
Well, no,
and I can
hold on, Andy. So that's what we were talking about before you came in. I think you caught pieces of it. We weren't talking about cloud streaming per se. We were actually talking about Stadia specifically.
Okay. Well, I mean, that is
So I wanted to give you, but I wanted to give you the behind that what we were talking about itself. That's how your name came up in it because I use you as an example of you are a huge proponent of Stadia. You love Stadia. It fits your lifestyle. But like for me, your gaming lifestyle it fits. For me, it doesn't fit my gaming lifestyle. So when the conversation about it comes up over and over and over again, I'm kind of just checked out on it because like it doesn't fit me. Like when I leave the house, I don't even think about gaming. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? When I'm chilling with my family and we're doing like social stuff, I don't game at all. Like we could be in the house and we could just all sit down and say, "Hey, we're gonna watch this movie." Or my girl could be like, "Hey, come lay down with me and watch this movie." My games are off. Like I don't use my play games on my phone. I don't do anything because that's physical social interaction for me. That's my thing. Like I don't when I'm with you guys on the game, this is where my interaction with the stuff comes into play. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I kind of felt like maybe you felt like, and I think you said it, you felt like that whenever you bring it up, we just go off because it's just you bringing it up. And I was just trying to give, at least from my point of view, some clarification of it. Because if you look, like I fuck with you about Stadia when you start talking about it, but I don't play it. You know what I'm saying? Because after everything you told me about it, and then hearing what True and them say about it, and then what I've seen about it and stuff, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of not my thing. It's a niche thing that's just not for me. And and I guess to go back to what you were just saying, with it being cloud streaming, it's kind of the same thing for me. Cloud streaming just isn't my thing. Cloud gaming is not my thing right now because I only game when I'm home. You know what I mean? But I'm also that old warhorse where like I don't like downloadable games. I want hard disk games too. So I'm on that side of the spectrum.
Right. Now, Franco, listen. Now, I hear everything you're saying. What I'm saying is, it's a lot of layers to it. So I get it. A lot of people actually don't care about playing away from home and stuff. So I think that's a cool thing, but that just fit my lifestyle. But when I bring up stuff this happened to all of us. Especially, I remember Destiny Part 2 came out, right? We all was on at midnight, right? And some people was able to get on before others. Some people was like, yo, and then, my install, like, why I got the game copy? I don't even know what's the new thing now where it's always say, now it's copying the file. I'm like, when did they start copying files? It usually you download, install, now it's copy files, right? So what I'm saying is as a gamer, another thing with cloud gaming, there is no installs, downloads, game copies. You press purchase and play. So I feel like when I say stuff like that as a gamer, who is a game? Like I get it. You said you're into hard copies, right? And that's fine, right? Like Eugene fought it forever, dude. He doesn't like downloads. I get it. That's I get it, right? You want to hold sunny hands. But what gamer can honestly say, I don't care if there's a download or not? Like I'm just saying that stuff like that is kind of cool. If you brought a game and press play and it started, like the new systems with the new SSD for the PlayStation, it's gonna be cutting down a lot of like load time, a lot of stuff that we're used to. We're gonna be like, yo, this is so cool that it's so smooth and go fast. So when I say stuff like, imagine if you press play, or you bought a game, you press purchase and play, right? So when the people be like, that ain't nothing, it's like, as a gamer, I feel like, wow, either you just trying to be funny, or like, are you serious? Because I feel like it's features like that. Now, I'm not saying you need to love it, get it, but when I say stuff like that, people literally look at me, and I guess I feel because I say it and be like, man, I don't care. I don't mind downloading. I get it. We all been living with downloading, but to honestly say it's not neat or cool to have no download at all, So that's the type of stuff I'm talking about,
Yeah, and I feel where you're coming from with that.
Gamer.
Yeah, I feel where you're coming from with that, and like, again, on my part, I don't have anything against Stadia or whatever, or for it. Like it just doesn't fit me. But I'm also that dude that when I know I got to download a game, I pop that shit in as soon as I buy it and go off and do whatever the hell I'm doing, and I'll come back and start playing it eventually. I can legit say like, doesn't matter to me anymore. Like if I gotta wait for it to load or not load, but I see where you're coming from. But I think again, just kind of circle it back around is it's not that people like it, don't like it, or they're against you or not against you, whatever. Is that after a while, it's, to give you a good example, like Xbox. Let's say Xbox came out. But Xbox One comes out, it's supposed to be the best shit on the market. And, everybody's hyping it and they're talking about it. Like, yeah, this game is great. This game is great. Then it comes out, right? And then people decide to get it or don't get it, play it or don't play it, research it, do whatever, and then they make their own decision. And then you circle back and it's somebody who's still hammering you about this same thing months and months and months and months and months, years and years and years and years later. And you can't tell me you're not going to get aggravated and be like, nah, I don't want it.
I hear you, but
I don't want it.
I'm going to use your words to make my point. Oh, no, listen, I'm going to use your words to make my point. I said, as a gamer, to not have to download, right? Now, you know what you said? Right. You didn't say, man, that would be kind of cool. You said, I mean, when I get a game, I just know I'm going to download it and walk away and come back. If you said that to me, right? That's what you said.
I didn't say that. No, that's not what I said. My exact words was, I know when I buy a game that, it has download stuff. I said, but I'm one of those people where, like, I just open my shit, pop it in the system, and let
That's not my thing. Who care about a phone that opens up? I was like, it's cool because you have a smaller phone because phones are getting so big. And then when it's not like you guys getting it is gonna make me get it, right? Or I'm always gonna get it. What I'm saying is I think people intentionally don't acknowledge something that that could be new, that has a feature that would be beneficial. I'll use that word then, right? Instead of the word cool, right? So there's been a bunch of times where, like the Call of Duty Warzone, the install is 80 gigs. So I gameflied it, put the disc in, right? But then I downloaded the game and then I gameflied it and put the disc in. So I thought it was just gonna cover over. So we went to stream the game and I couldn't play. I was like, yo! So they was like, yeah, man, you gotta actually delete the download and then reinstall it from the disc. So I was annoyed. So we literally couldn't play that game that day because I didn't know. So because the download was taking so long, right? What I'm just saying is beneficial if I didn't have to download it all and I just press play. That would have been beneficial. When I mention stuff like that to you guys, nowhere you be like, oh, that won't be beneficial. It's like, well, I mean, when I get a game, I put the disc in, and I know that it's going to take a while. That's what I'm saying. It's no acknowledgement, and either it's because I said. I feel like it's more because I said it. I feel like if Justin said it.
No, the issue is the fact that you continually say it over and over again. We got it the first time, dude.
This is the thing. Because it's really not about who said it. Because, Anthony, we all love you, but you're not that special. It's not that you said it. It doesn't bother us that you said it. It's just that certain things move the needle for certain people. We've had this conversation when we were talking earlier. I said Stadia doesn't move the needle for me, right? And and don't get me wrong. I do agree. It would be great to come on with my PS4 game, whether it be hard copy or whatever. Turn my system on, plug it in, or like put it in my system and just play it, or go to the PlayStation store and say you just bought Devil May Cry 5. And then instead of waiting for it to download for 45 minutes to an hour, just play it. Not saying it's a bad thing, but as far as like Stadia on a whole, not even just that one feature, Stadia on a whole doesn't move the needle for me.
I get that. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I get that because if you look at it as a whole, I get it. Like a lot of people, yeah, as a whole, I totally get that. I hear what you're saying.
And I think that's what we're all trying to say in a nutshell.
Right. I'm just saying you gotta admit though. So here's the thing, because I'm putting you on the spot. You have to admit. Often when I say something, right, and I don't say like, oh, you need to run out and get this. When I say like a feature or something, like again, what Franco did, instead of him, so what Justin did, I appreciate that. He said, I ain't gonna lie, would I want to be able to press play instead of wait 45 minutes to an hour? Of course, but as a whole, I don't like it. Franco, on the other hand, was like, well, I already know I put a disc in, so that's the stuff I'm talking about. So those are two different scenarios. As a gamer, I feel like I would have, as a gamer, I would have seen what Justin said. Yeah, it ain't for me, but that's
all right,
cool.
So let me just cut the. I'll just give you the straight shit, right?
Right.
What you want is for me to say, hey, you know what? As a gamer, it would be cool to just load a game and just play. I mean, just plug a game and just play and not have to load it. I'll acknowledge that. As a gamer, it would be cool to pop a game,
just play. But this is the point of what I said that you're missing.
Oh my God, Frank!
And I'll put it to you in a way that I don't know, that makes sense, but straight to you. I don't have anything against the Stadia, and it's not that you bring up Stadia that makes me not get into it. It's the fact that you sit and you act like a cheerleader for Stadia when you clearly know we're tired of talking about Stadia. Like, my thing is, if you came into the chat one day, right, and you said, hey, check this new shit out about Stadia, now you can do A, B, and C, and D that you couldn't do before. I would listen to that. And they'd be like, oh, okay, and then go on about my business. But then if you come back the next day and you say the same thing to me again, and then you come back the next day and you say the same thing to me again, that shit's not new anymore. I don't want to hear it anymore. That's the point that I was trying to get across to you. I don't have anything against Stadia. I'm not a fan of Stadia or dislike Stadia. My thing is, I don't need somebody constantly cheerleading something that there's nothing new to hear about. Because when you first started talking about Stadia, Anthony, if you go back, I was interested. You and I had a conversation where I actually said, I don't know, maybe I might kind of get into it. And then after a while, I realized it really wasn't for me. Then you came back and told me, hey, guess what, y'all? Stadia is now free for everybody to try. Da-da-da. And again, I said, yo, that's cool, but it still really doesn't fit my thing, so I'm not into it. Right. So the point I was trying to say is, you can love something. We can all love something specifically, but you can't make other people love it the way you do based off what you think we should all say according to what you think. We're all gamers, but we're all different types of gamers.
Yeah.
And for me, having to sit 45 minutes to load a game versus instantly load a game doesn't make or break me, because my attention span when it comes to starting up a game is super short. Like, I'll pop a game in to load it and then go do other shit for like 5 hours and forget that I was loading the game. Doesn't make or break me. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that we're against it just because you said. It's the amount you said. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I look, True and them, they give all these technical things, and I get tired of hearing them talk about it.
Fact.
I'm like, all right, I'm tired of hearing that it's shitty. I'm tired of hearing that, it's dependent on Wi-Fi. And if the Wi-Fi don't fucking work, well, fuck it. Now you can't play Stadia. I don't give a shit at this point, because it's not for me. The fact that it does everything you like and it does for you, I think that shit is awesome, because I even pointed out when we talked about it, I said, it's like perfect for Anthony's lifestyle. He can game wherever he goes. He can game at the dinner table. He can go out and game when he's out. He can game in a fucking movie theater if he wants to. But for me, that's not my thing. So it's not that we're down in it because you talk about it. It's that what's there to talk about it anymore at this point? That's new. What is new about Stadia right now that if it came up in the conversation, I won't know about it? That's the point. And it's the same thing with fucking Destiny, which we just went off on that, how much of a piece of shit Destiny just was for us before you came in. It's the same thing with whatever the next thing comes out. Once PS5 comes out, I dare a motherfucker to come in the chat 7 months after the PS5 come out and try to sell me on the fucking PS5 when the shit been out for 7 months and nothing new is about it.
Like,
I'm gonna tear their ass up too.
Franco, I'm sorry.
I'm like, yo, like, why are we still talking about this? Like, it's nothing new.
But Franco,
That's
I'm
great
sorry.
for you.
No mean, but
It's
to
not
answer
great.
your question, did you hear
So
that
it's
the
like,
CEO of
something's
Google?
new, it's awesome, right? Let it breathe, and then let it walk. Is what I'm saying. Don't beat the dead horse.
Yeah, I think we
I
just
don't know
talking
if
about
that kind of explains my stance on it. Where
Oh
I was
no, you
coming
definitely are. I was wondering.
Okay, no, I get it. But Franco, to answer your question,
Anybody there?
did you hear that the CEO of Google Stadia division has said
Hello?
that Stadia is a disappointment?
Hey, anybody?
What's up, Franco?
What the fuck just happened? Hey, BB, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Justin, can you hear me? Wave
Yeah,
at
I
me.
can hear you clearly.
Yeah, we've heard you this whole time.
So y'all heard everything I said, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna leave the call and come back because I think somebody was calling my phone, so now I can't hear y'all.
That probably explains why he wouldn't stop talking when people were talking.
Roman, call your mom.
I was about to say, to answer your question.
He just said he can't hear
Oh,
you,
go ahead,
True.
I know.
All right, well, let's get back on to wrestling.
Okay, I'm back. I can hear y'all. Yay!
That was a long left turn. Let's get back on wrestling.
Yep. I'm very ready for the takeover tonight.
Takeover
Amen.
tonight?
Yeah, takeover in your houses tonight.
What time?
Yeah.
I might, I might watch that.
I have no idea.
8 o'clock.
7 to 8 probably.
Like, I've been so thrown off by the order of the pay-per-views that I swear to God, Backlash was every Sunday for like the last 3 Sundays.
Damn.
I think Backlash is next week. Don't quote me on that.
I believe it is next week.
So here's a question from a person who ain't watched wrestling in like
a God's age,
a decade. If a person wanted to get into wrestling, where would you tell them to start?
Honestly,
NXT.
the best place to jump in is after a pay-per-view.
Actually, I got an even better answer for you. WWE Network is free now.
Now, what comes in a free subscription?
Pretty much everything but the pay-per-views.
Oh, so the pay-per-view is still $9. You gotta pay separate.
So you could literally download WWE Network app and just pick and choose and watch shit, and at least because that will at least give you a baseline. You would know who's who and what's what. And
now, question: since I got
if
paid
you're looking for consistency, though, I would stick with NXT if you're going with WWE, and there's other wrestling outside of that, though.
So I can now go into WWE app, right, and just choose the account I want now.
I will probably. I mean, I'm sure you could go in, and if there's an option to cancel, you're paid, and you'd probably cancel your paid, and then you would probably just log in as free.
Look, man, I just use Hulu for all that shit. I ain't paying money for them.
I mean, I'm already paying I'm not arguing with $10 a month for a pay-per-view. So
that's good.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
I mean, you know what the crazy part is? So you get the free version, and you get to watch like all the old stuff and the different stuff going on, cool little things like that. Or you can pay $10 a month and also have access to all the videos, which costs anywhere from $50 to $60.
Yeah,
and you're getting 1, 2, and 3 of them every month.
Yeah, I think I'll continue to pay my $9 a month. No big deal.
It's one of those things. Like, but as far as jumping back in, I agree with whoever. I couldn't hear who said it, but if it's right after a pay-per-view, especially if it's one of the major pay-per-views on whichever brand you decide to watch, like whether it be AEW, WWE,
did I lose everybody again? Yo, this is starting to piss me off. What is that?
No, the last time I watched was when he fucking what was his move called when he did his booty slap and basically put his ass in the nigga's face.
The stink face.
Yes, the last match I watched, I believe he did it to Mick Foley, not Mick Foley. What is that nigga's?
Love Cactus Jack or Mankind? You shouldn't have to change your answer.
No, not Mick Foley. I'm trying to remember. It was the old white dude that ran with Triple H before he became a CEO.
Oh, Kane.
Ric Flair?
Yes.
Kane or Ric Flair?
Ric Flair?
I think
Ric Flair.
Well, I don't think Ric Flair ever been CEO.
No, he was talking about.
No, he
Triple
said before
H,
Triple H became
he was
CEO.
saying Rikishi did it to him back when they were in Evolution.
In Ric Flair's defense, there was a storyline where he was actually co-owner of WWE.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
Remember? That shit was funny.
Yeah,
Very short, but funny.
And then after Rikishi retired, I watched it until Eddie Guerrero's passing.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you've been going for a long time, brother.
Yeah, man. You missed.
He'd probably, about to say, if that's the case, he'd probably like Angel Garza on Raw. Very reminiscent of Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, somewhat. I'm not a big Angel Garza fan though. I'm like wishy-washy. You know, everybody's gonna laugh, but I actually like Austin Theory.
Oh no, I like him too.
No, I like Austin Theory more than I like Angel Garza.
I think they can do a lot with Austin Theory.
They made him part of Monday Night Messiah's clique.
Yo, that's
oh no, you done messed up. You done talk about Seth Rollins while Anthony's around.
Yes, right, boy. Seth freaking for the weekend.
Speaking of which, can you answer a question?
Anthony,
Whatever happened to the Hardy
Anthony,
Boys?
there is no Seth freaking for the weekend. He is the Monday Night Messiah now. Respect that.
There are two things that I don't know that I need answers to. What happened to the Hardy Boys, and how did they end the storyline they were doing with Lita and Kane?
Oh my Lord Jesus!
Jesus,
are you fucking serious?
Look, let me put it to you like this: that happened before my time. I let someone else handle that. The Hardy Boys are doing some other shit right now.
Wow. Well, Jeff's
if you want to see Jeff, you can watch SmackDown.
Jeff's an alcoholic.
So apparently, Gene Snitsky knocked Lita off the apron and made her lose her baby that she wasn't actually pregnant with Kane. So then Kane started feuding with Snitsky, and then Lita became a dirty whore because she started fucking Edge, and
right in the middle.
That's how that whole thing dissipated in the smoke. Where real life meets the storyline, bro.
I ain't shit. I ain't miss shit. That's cool.
Nope.
You missed a lot of good wrestling, though, bro.
Yeah, for real.
Like I said, if you want to see Jeff, he's on SmackDown. If you want to see Matt, he's in AEW. So
AEW,
which is crazy as shit.
Yeah.
No, what's crazy as shit was when they did that recent storyline where they had Jeff arrested for being under the influence and all that shit, and Matt actually tweeted about it, letting them know he was pissed off about that storyline.
I believe it.
A lot of people are just are unhappy with that storyline. I think that's why.
Yeah, but did you see what Matt's tweet was?
No, I did not see Matt's
tweet. He did a subliminal tweet. He literally said, "For the record, I am very happy working for Tony Khan."
Oh shit.
I mean, to be fair, he's been doing some great shit, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I think that was a shot at Vince for pulling that bullshit with Matt. I mean, with Jeff.
To be fair, they always use Jeff Pass. I feel like that's always like a storyline.
They do.
Well,
They
do. They go to that over and over again.
It becomes a point where when art imitates life crosses the line.
Yep. Because I was even gonna say when Franco was talking about Lita was sleeping around, I was about to say that was a storyline. I was like, well, technically it was because it had Edge fight Matt Hardy. So yeah, that was still.
Look. When I say art imitates life, that shit was real. So they fired Matt because he was unprofessional, and then brought him back so they could use it as a storyline.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That shit was ill.
I think as long as Jeff's okay with it, then it's all right. I'm pretty sure Jeff.
At the end of the day, as long as Jeff is okay with it, that's the most important part.
Yeah, because it's his life that they're using to create their show. So yeah.
Yeah, because like if he says no to that, I mean they can technically still do it. They just can't do it with him, which wouldn't make any sense.
Which would defeat the purpose of the storyline, right?
Yeah,
exactly. So like
back with that shit.
Yo, you know what's funny? Did you guys
storyline? It was CM Punk, right?
No.
No, hold on.
Well, CM Punk had the drunk storyline with Jeff Hardy.
Wasn't it between Chris Jericho and CM Punk?
I think they were trying to get him drunk, but I don't think they succeeded. I
remember CM Punk. I remember that storyline. Jericho was trying to say how CM Punk wasn't as straight edge as he tried to pretend to be.
Oh, he was talking about his real life.
Okay, that's what I'm
saying.
Yeah, I don't think they actually went any. I don't remember that really going anywhere.
Yeah, that storyline died quick.
That shit was garbage, yo.
And then there was the CM Punk storyline with Jeff being on drugs and drinking. When CM Punk and Jeff were beefing.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I just want to say something real quick.
What's up?
Do you know all this time I've been sitting in my daughter's trunk? Well, she got a hatchback. So I've been laying in the hatchback and she's been driving for Great Adventures this whole time as I'm still on a podcast.
That's some old kitty shit right there, and I love it.
And I'm just laid out, sitting here. Listen, I figured
you're too grown to be doing shit like that, Anthony.
But I'm still small enough.
There you go. What a good fucking answer, but I'm still small enough.
But yeah. So that answers the question though, true.
Yeah, true.
What happened?
I said I hope that answers the question though.
Yeah, I ain't missing nothing. That's good. That's all I wanted to know.
So do we have any? Is it too early for predictions for Backlash, or?
I mean,
let's do them. Let's do them.
I can pull up the card right now if you want. I mean, there's more stuff coming up. There's probably more matches.
Wait, what?
But we can give them for next.
Well, that's what I'm asking. We want to say that for next Sunday.
Yeah, we should probably.
Wait, what did somebody just say? They think who's gonna win?
Fucking John. Rock's gonna win.
Right. Yeah, if we do predictions, it should be for takeover tonight because that card's finalized.
All right, so pull up the card. Let's do it.
About the show to guess.
Yeah, I listen to Franco and Julian talk about that. I don't watch NXT. Although I might watch that tonight.
All right, I'll still
pull up the card and let's do it.
I got you pulling it up right now.
Yeah, I'm so far behind the NXT.
I legit I told Franco the reason I watch AEW more than I watch NXT live is because I like to binge watch NXT, and I just literally just finished doing that now right before this.
Yeah, I'm probably like 2.
And you know what's funny? And I'll put you on to some funny shit. I was like a secondary NXT fan at first. Anthony actually put me on the NXT because me and him were having this random conversation, and he was telling me like, "Yeah, NXT is so good." I'm like, "Bro, NXT is like some fucking contest. It's all right." He's like, "No, you really gotta watch it. It's relaunched." And I was like, "Yeah, I know it's relaunched, but blah blah blah." And Anthony's like, "No, you really gotta watch it." And then the next time me and him had talked about it, I think I had binge watched like fucking 15 episodes or something like that.
Wow.
And it reinvigorated me into wrestling. Like I can honestly say that because it's the reason why I watch NXT, and I'm the same way. I like to binge watch NXT too, but I also like to stay up on it because NXT is more go than show. for me. So they get in the ring and they do their thing, right? And like it's really good, like really fast paced action. I like how they literally try to build up each person.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll see some people every week and then you won't see them for like a month because they're focusing on another group of people, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
The thing with AEW, which I'm not saying anything against AEW because I think they actually it's a good show. It just didn't live up to the hype for me because they focus too much. It's weird. Like you got the elite here, right? And you built this brand around the elite, and you focus so hard on not focusing on the, which I think is stupid.
It was to me,
I
right?
thought that was
The issue
fucking
with about to say
stupid.
the reason they did is because they basically helped run the company. They didn't want people to say, "Oh, you're just booking yourselves into positions of power." Like they're doing
That's
they're
stupid.
now one of the main focuses, but they didn't want that criticism, which is why they.
But for me, that's dumb, right? So, go ahead.
Okay. No, I was gonna say real quick. My thing was it was supposed to be the anti WWE like show. And then not all, but a lot of like you had the first champion, a WWE guy. I feel like I know that anti WWE, but it's like so much WWE. You know?
And here's the funny part.
Criticism. Also, I will say to Franco's point, I feel like you were listening to too many people that were talking about how it was like they're gonna kill WWE. I'm very glad I was like really paying attention to the build of it because I had my expectations set from the get go. I knew exactly what this was gonna be, and I managed going in for it because I knew it was gonna be. This is just another place to watch wrestling, which is what it is.
Well, here's my thing. You're absolutely wrong. I wasn't listening to the hype of other people building up how they're going to go after WWE. Because if y'all remember, I kept saying, like, it ain't AEW versus WWE. It's the fans trying to save AEW.
Yeah.
Y'all remember when I was coming back from Atlanta?
It's all between the fans.
Yeah, when I was coming from Atlanta, I actually ran into some guys that worked for AEW. And they were just kind of giving me the rundown, like, what they could. Like, yeah, we're going to start doing live shows. We're going to be on the East Coast around this time, and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. It's going to be some great stuff. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I was just watching going there, right? So my whole thing with AEW is, again, it's called All Elite Wrestling, right? We know that's a play on the name of the elite. I don't give a shit what the fans are saying about, oh, y'all just booking yourselves, da da da. Dude, y'all jumped on the AEW bandwagon because of the fucking elite. So in my mind, I think it's absurd that we didn't see somebody like Kenny Omega or Cody or even Hangman Adam Page being the fucking first champ. Hangman Adam Page should have went over Jericho, right?
I do agree with you on
Jericho
that.
would have legitimized Hangman Adam Page by getting him that win, and then he could have feuded with him and won the title. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that to me, that made sense as a fan.
I 100% agree with you on that. The only reason they played Jericho the champion and the first champion and had him as champion as long as they did was to get eyes on their product. That is the only reason.
Again, yeah, go ahead. Again, that automatically goes back to what I don't like. Is the fact that you're supposed to be doing it different. You want to give us a different look at wrestling. You want to give us another outlet. You want to do it different. Use who you have. Let me see a Hangman Adam Page. You had the eyes. You had it. All you did was put a WWE guy as your first champion. And I agree, he did bring some looks to it. He's a legit wrestler who can legit, be a champion. I do like the Painmaker persona, but at the same time, a fan like me, I wasn't familiar with all of the elite people that are around, but I was familiar with certain ones. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, the ones that I really, really like aren't in AEW, like like the Gorillas with the Mist, stuff like that. Use the people that you built it around. Yeah, you can bring these other guys in to legitimize the program and different stuff like that. But why work so hard not look like you're doing something? We know they're fucking vice presidents of shit. We knew that going into it. So no shit that they're booking. No shit. I didn't want to see Jericho as the first champion. And that's just me. And that's where I felt like they first dropped the ball. And I continued to watch it. And you introduce some decent dudes to me. Like, I bring his name up every chance I get. I think Luchasaurus is the best thing since fucking sliced bread. I don't give a fuck with nobody. If they put the heavyweight championship on him, I'm watching it. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
It's funny you say that, Franco, because actually I agree with you because I watched the first couple episodes of AEW, and I was like, all right. And when Jericho became champ, I was like, really? And then, because like you said, they're not trying to be WWE, but yet, and then when I heard JR on commentary,
I still don't agree with that.
I was like, oh shit.
With nothing against JR. I love JR, but
I love JR too, and at first I was excited, but then it was like, is that enough? Like, is that enough to draw me in? Am I really just, and I'm like, no. Like, no,
honestly,
no.
JR is one of the worst parts of AEW almost every week because
Justin, you were super hyped when he first came.
Yeah, right. I remember saying that to you. I was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like,
I'm in.
And then I watched literally that one episode and then didn't watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the crazy part is?
JR's on there. I was like,
JR doesn't fit AEW.
He doesn't.
JR does not fit AEW.
Let's say he's a great sit-down interviewer, but he doesn't fit their play-by-play commentary style. It just doesn't work for him. Like I said, I love JR, but honestly, if they're gonna keep him, I honestly think they should replace him on the booth, either take him off or have someone else in, and just have him do backstage interviews because that's what he does the best right now. And that's not taking away anything from his career. Like he's probably one of the greatest commentators of all time. Like no doubt.
I would say JR is the greatest wrestling commentator of all time.
Oh yeah,
hands down at this point. But I don't think he's meant for AEW.
Yeah, like I said,
if you're gonna start something new, give me some fresh shit. And like you've got great commentators out here. But
who's the current lineup on the commentary team?
Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and Jim Ross.
I thought Taz was on the
Didn't
team.
Taz start commentating too though?
Yeah, he kind of shows up when he's needed, but right now he's managing Brian Cage, so I don't expect him to see him on the commentary too much.
Question: is JR still saying the incorrect names of some wrestlers?
Yes, yes. It's so bad.
Please tell me this called Brody Lee Luke Harper.
He has not done that. He has called Jake Hager Jack Swagger, or sorry, he called him Swagger at one point. Not Jack Swagger, but called him Swagger.
Not bad.
Yeah, but I
caught that shit.
Yeah, like we're about to say, see, like if it was one time, it wouldn't be a problem, but he's done it with multiple people a couple different times, so it's like it's not a huge issue, but it's one of those where you're kind of like, should he really be doing commentary right now?
Yeah.
I mean, it's different if he's playing the words to kind of like throw their old names in there, but playing with the words. But the fact that he's legit kind of calling them their other names by accident.
Oh shit! For real?
Like it would be Like he didn't call. Like it'd been one thing if he was like, look at the swagger on Jake Hager, or that takes a lot of swagger.
He tried to cover with that, but when he first said it, he was like something.
He literally said he calls him swagger.
Yeah,
did he make a mistake? Like, was it a mistake?
Yeah,
I think it's a mistake. Like he's looking at these guys, and he's calling them by the names that he knows.
Right.
Yeah. So they had to correct him. It was like, I think he meant to say Hager. He was like, yeah, you can excuse me because he has a lot of swagger. Like he tried to save it, but everyone who knows.
That's the time I'm talking about too. That's exactly it.
Yeah, like they tried to save it, but
But that just goes back to what I said. Like he doesn't fit the AEW.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally
and that's nothing. That's nothing.
Like I said, keep him with some sit-down interviews because he does those really well. Just take him off the commentary.
Right.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
You should get like a younger crew in there to do commentary.
I mean, it ain't necessarily about getting a younger crew. I mean, the younger crew is great, but I just want somebody who's more in touch. Like, I'll be honest with y'all. if they were going to grab any commentator from WWE and throw them in there, Mauro Ronaldo.
Dude, Mauro
would fit
Ronaldo is
perfect.
probably the best
Yeah.
commentator right now. Currently.
Yeah, I like him.
Yes,
Who?
he would fit perfect. But here's my reasons why. He's in touch. What's up? He's in touch with everything that's occurring.
And he knows all the
Right.
moves by name.
He knows all the. He's also.
He knows all the moves by name. He
excitement
knows them
you
from his
hear in
Japan.
his voice when some crazy shit happens is so genuine.
Oh no, that
Yeah.
dude is
Like
awesome.
Mamma Mia, I'll say like people don't start chanting Mamma Mia at a crazy spot just because it's cool. Like it's that his reaction to that is just like it's genuine. Like that's him. Like he's like that's what he says.
No,
Put
I
it,
will legit.
put it this way.
I will
Mauro
legit.
Ronaldo's Mamma Mia.
Here's the thing.
His Mamma Mia is JR's. It's going to be a slobber knocker. From
Yeah. Like, so
You know
in
what
my
I'm saying?
house, we watch Raw, we watch SmackDown, and I'll be honest with you, the only reason why I don't watch NXT is because I already imposed enough wrestling on my girl. She ain't trying to hear that shit. 3 days of wrestling. she's done by Raw and SmackDown.
I'm just saying you could
Right.
cut 2 of them off and switch over to Wednesdays. You'd probably enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah. Like I'm really like when it comes to NXT, I'm really big on Velveteen Dream right now. That's
Oh right, I got the card up whenever we're ready. By the way.
Well, let me before you go on the card. Let me ask y'all this. So a lot of people wanted there to be crowds back. So I obviously I was the one guy that was like, I feel like it's more dialed in without the crowd. So what do you guys think now that they have somewhat of a crowd? What's your
Well, my issue with WWE's crowds is they don't sound as genuine.
No,
if
they're
that
paid
makes sense.
monkeys.
Yeah, like apparently this is just about to say apparently this is a rumor, not 100% sure if this is true, but apparently during commercial breaks they will like come on the megaphone and tell them, "Hey, you guys need to be a little bit louder during this next part because you guys sound a little quiet just then." Like they keep.
Well, this is what y'all got to understand about the crowds right now. These are pre-taped shows. They're shows like shows. So when they do the breaks, they're going to go out there and tell these people, "Hey, we need y'all to be a little more energy for this, and that. A little more this for that, a little more this." At the end of the day, I think what came out of them not having crowds was camera. Just don't zoom it in and down it up that way. But as a wrestling fan, come on, you can't tell me that a live crowd does not play a factor. It literally shows the momentum of a lot of it.
No.
There's some matches that I watch that I just check out of the matches, like in the middle of the match. Yeah.
So when you think live crowd would be a thing again?
It's going to be a couple more months before they go to real live.
Yeah, probably a while.
And even then, it's going to be limited to the amount of people that
Yeah.
there.
Pretty much first come, first served tickets.
Man, the day we get a full crowd back in a wrestling show, it is going to be hot.
It'll probably be in 2021 or early 20. And first show, the fucking roof is going to explode off the.
Oh fuck yeah! It's gonna be nuts.
Before the show even starts, that initial chant is going to blow the roof right off.
Yep.
It really is, bro.
It's probably gonna take like 10 minutes before the show starts. They're just gonna be chanting and chanting and chanting.
Chant.
Yeah.
I can
Roman,
imagine
when
it
y'all
now.
go get my
I can
lighter
imagine
off?
it now because people have been waiting. I can feel like people have wanted to cheer for Drew McIntyre since he's won that title. He's gonna have to just sit in that ring and drink it in for a bit, bro.
Yeah.
When they first get crowds back. But,
I'll be honest though, I would have much rather see the Scottish Psychopath win that title.
What was that?
Like I love Drew McIntyre and as a wrestler right now, but I love this Scottish Psychopath. When he would say how everybody was weak and he was there to expose them.
Hold up, Franco. You mean when he was playing second fiddle to my boy, the greatest King Corbin?
No. When he wasn't playing second fiddle to your boy. If
Yo,
you
I
remember
looked that up the other day.
The Scottish Psychopath kind of came along after that. Where he really got really
didn't
fucked up.
that nickname originate with Dolph Ziggler? Wasn't he like the first person to call him that?
Probably.
Actually, I think he did when he first came up to the main roster when he was like backing up on Drew.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then when that character was fleshed out right after him, Bobby Lashley, and
King Corbin.
Ant's boy Baron Corbin
King,
were running as a little clique.
King Corbin. All right,
Yeah,
respect.
I was calling
He
him
wasn't a
Three-Man
king back
Band
then.
Hey, listen,
2.0.
I'm a Baron Corbin fan. All
I
right,
was worried.
fuck this King Corbin shit. I'm a Baron Corbin fan.
I'm a
Not the,
Corbin fan.
not the,
Period.
not the.
I don't like
What was
him
he called? Not the Constable. Not fucking King. I'm the lone wolf Baron Corbin fan.
I
I'm a
got
firm
you.
believer that Baron was supposed to be an NXT champion,
Yeah.
and he was in the middle of a big NXT title feud where they did the triple threat match, and boom, they pulled him right up to the main roster.
I think he was gonna get the belt if he didn't trash talk that that sergeant in the military on Twitter. Because remember, he was he won the,
I remember that.
yeah, he won
Oh,
he
yeah, I
won the
forgot
Money in
about
the Bank. Everything was looking good. He was like real hot, and then he got into that argument on Twitter, and they made him lose to John Cena.
Like,
Which makes sense because
97
John Cena is
people
a
to
big
fight
supporter
John
of the troops and all that shit.
Yep, and John Cena usually let you beat him to get pushed, but nope.
Right.
So, but anyway, but go ahead, Julian. You wanna I'm sorry to
This
derail
was the
that.
first match on the card.
No, that's fine. All right. So first, I'm not sure if this is in order or not, but this probably will be the first match based on how it is. You got Mia
No, just whatever you
Yim,
got.
yeah, Mia Yim, Tegan Knox, and Satori Blackheart. I think I said that right.
Yep.
Versus Candice
No,
LeRae,
Shotzi
Dakota
Blackheart.
Kai. Yep, her. Versus Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez.
I'm gonna go with the Hills on this one, and I'm gonna go with Dakota Kai.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Hold up. What's her name turned bad?
Candice
Candice
LeRae?
LeRae?
Yeah, her and
Oh
Johnny turned heel a
yeah,
couple
you
weeks
missed her
ago.
and Johnny.
Oh, well, no, I seen
Yeah.
the Johnny thing.
So remember that match where
No,
it was supposed to be Tommaso
super cool.
Ciampa versus Johnny for the last time?
Okay.
She turns heel there by helping Johnny win. Kicks.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, like she makes it look like she turned on Johnny by kicking him in the crotch, but then she comes back and hits Tommaso, and Johnny pulls out a cup to show that she did actually hurt him, and he picks up the win.
Right.
Wow.
Yep.
And it's pretty cool. Their heel turn is pretty cool because it's like they're the Hills that don't believe they're the Hills.
Got you.
Like, I may not have liked that match, but I do like what's come from it.
What they accomplished with it, yeah.
Anybody else want to give predictions, or is it just gonna be us two?
It's probably just gonna be y'all.
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, I missed the
next
last
up,
two shows.
Next up,
I
we
think
got
The Rock
Finn
is gonna
Balor
win.
versus Damian Priest.
Who
Wait,
versus
say that again because I just heard The Rock's gonna win again.
Okay. Finn Balor versus Damian Priest was actually kind of a toss-up for me, honestly.
Oh wow. Well, I would think, so since the last time I watched, I would just think Finn would win. But I know Damian was getting hot though.
Is Finn still run as a heel, or are they trying to slowly turn him back?
Finn's not a heel. Finn is
He's
not a heel.
face either,
He's
though.
a tweener, right?
And he's
Yeah,
not a
he's a tweener.
face. Thank you.
He's a tweener.
What they're doing with Finn in NXT is he's basically kind of like a Stone Cold. He plays the heel side when they need him to. He plays the face side when they need him to because he's neither. You know what I'm saying? So, dude, you want to take the first line on this, or you want me to give my prediction first?
I'll give my prediction. I think Damian Priest is going to win, but I think it's going to be because Imperium gets involved.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I remember they were
So
they were starting that up with Finn and Walter, but they had to drop it due to all this. But I feel like they're slowly starting to build back. I think they may slowly start to build back into that.
All right, so I think we're kind of on the same page with that because I was thinking the same thing. Because I was like, okay, so the whole Imperium thing with Finn was going to be kind of cool, and then boom, they shut it down because of the traveling and stuff. And then I started seeing the Imperium thing starting to bubble up again, with them getting the tag titles and all this different shit. And I just see that collision coming. The other thing, though, I'm picking Damian Priest for, and it's a thin pick, is I really like the whole line of him being the Archer of Infamy and him saying, like, yeah, I want, eventually I'm going for the NXT title. He's like, but how could I pass up a target like Finn Balor? And he puts Finn over every time he talks about how great he is and this and that, but then points out that's exactly why he has to fuck him up. I'm thinking this is their
they're getting ready to push him. So I'm gonna call him his old name, Punishment Hernandez. But I'm gonna go with Damian Priest.
Yeah, this will be a pretty big win for him if not.
Here we go.
All right, I'm curious to see what.
Well, hold on. Let me ask Franco one thing. Do you think if Damian Priest win, will it be straight up?
No, that's me. But Franco.
Franco, you there, buddy?
Can't hear you, Frank.
His ring lit up for a second.
Maybe
he
went
thought
to
it got real good,
I'm
and then
not
it
sure
might have
he
died.
can hear us because his phone did that thing where his voice changed again.
Yep.
Like
Okay, I think he just disappeared.
There he is.
Franco.
Sorry about that, Joe. Every time somebody calls my phone, it knocks the sound out for me.
Yeah. Franco, my question to you
your
was.
audio quality clears up too.
Franco, my question to you was: do you think Damian Priest will win straight up?
No, I agree with Susan. I think it's going to be some kind of weird interference, like an Imperium getting involved or something like that. But with
he pulls out the nightstick again.
Yeah, I'm about to say with the kind of character that Damian Priest plays, he'll take it any way he can get it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I could definitely see him pulling that nightstick out. I thought, the other reason why I like him for the win is I thought that was pretty cool when they kind of interjected him into Dijakovic and Keith Lee's feud for a while, because it kind of legitimized him as a big man, but it also gave him a good look as just kind of a possible main eventer too.
That's cool.
Yep.
That's another reason why I want to watch NXT. Keith Lee. That's the only other reason I want to watch NXT.
Keith Lee is which was funny because I used to say this about The Dream, but Keith Lee is currently my favorite wrestler on NXT.
Yeah,
we will get to him in a second. Though.
Yeah, Justin, you might want to give Keith Lee another look.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I was on the same thing with that.
A puzzle ring.
Huh? What happened?
Is that true?
True said something about a puzzle ring.
I think he's talking
puzzle ring.
Okay.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
I'm over
Keith
here.
Lee when
I'm
he
over here
first came,
multitasking.
I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of Keith Lee because I just didn't like the character. But Keith Lee has changed really well, and Anthony can attest to this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big proponent of characters that I don't like who can legit change because I hated Velveteen Dream's character.
Yeah, he did. I remember you and Eugene talking about him way back when.
Eugene liked him. I fucking hated him. I was like, this is a bullshit character. It's weak, it's cheap. And I like what he did with the character. How he started to develop it, and he slowly dropped that ambiguously gay shit from it. Whereas he still has this air of
flamboyancy,
princesism to it,
yeah,
and some flamboyancy. But he interjected that he's all about the spotlight. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the fact that man could put on a hell of a match, bro. Hell of a match.
He definitely has the best character work in WWE, second to maybe only Bray Wyatt right now.
Yeah.
If not better.
I'll agree with that.
Statement, sir.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that.
But yeah, finish telling
Keith
me
Lee.
Yes.
So Keith Lee, I'm really riding along with him because he came in with this really arrogant character, but he was supposed to be a face. Feast in my, what was it? Bask in my glory. Bask in my glory. And he would do the dumb shit with the thumb, and he talked to the Aries voice. No, but hear me out. He still does it all, but it's different. I don't know if it makes sense to you, but he comes out, especially since he won the North American Championship. He comes out there, he's willing to give anybody a shot at the belt. He's got this edge to him now. He still does the basketball glory, but there's a point to it. There's a focus.
You know what it might be, Franco? Because he changed his music. His music isn't the same as when he first came out. You might have started liking him once he changed his music. He had a little more different vibe to him once they changed that music.
Yeah. You know what? I want to say when his music changed, he kind of changed up too. You right. You absolutely right. I didn't even think about that.
I feel like when he first came out, because he was doing all that, but not to say he was unproven, but in NXT, he had come out of nowhere. It was just like, I'm this good. and all that, and like and then he was losing too. So like he was doing all that, but also hadn't proven himself or backed it up in any way. Suddenly the music changed and he starts, actually showing off like, oh wait, no, he is as good as he says.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's backing up the talk, and you can believe it when what he says now.
And the fact that his big ass is doing Hurricanranas doesn't hurt either.
Oh yeah,
that's why I'm there.
His match with Dijakovic at the last takeover. Oh my god!
Is he on the card?
And let me tell you something. I was not a fan of him and Dijakovic's feud when I first heard about it, because I was like, how long can you watch two big plotting dudes wrestle?
Right.
But I honestly feel like well, what it was for me was that Keith Lee had already started to grow on me, but I feel like Keith Lee made Dijakovic step his game up.
Yes.
Oh, he definitely did. I feel like it was both of them together. Like they made themselves step each other up.
Well, I think the part for Dijakovic is Keith Lee could pull off more of the stuff he knew he could do, because Dijakovic's a legit big, strong dude. So if Keith Lee wants to do a Hurricanrana
on the Indies as well.
Exactly. So, and all that chemistry and stuff, it just played into it. I do feel like it went on a little too long, maybe 1 or 2 matches too long. But for the most part, it was a great feud.
Yeah.
That answers your
more
question.
about Keith Lee in a second, because we got our next match on the card of Tommaso Ciampa versus Karrion Kross.
So
I gotta go Karrion.
I will go first on this one. I will go. I want to say Tommaso Ciampa, right? Because I'm a huge Ciampa fan, right? Love Tommaso Ciampa. Everything he's going through, his beef with Johnny. Anybody he gets into a beef with, it's always fucking good. But Karrion Kross is the fresh face who just came in, and he's legit fucking hot as fire, yo.
Okay, I was about to say who's Karrion Kross, because I don't even know who that is.
You about to say
Great gimmick.
He debuted like 2 weeks after that match we just told you about, where Candice and Johnny both.
Yeah. He has a really great gimmick.
Oh wait, have you seen those TikTok like Doomsday vignettes that's been playing on NXT or no?
No.
Okay, then never mind. Then those are, but say when you catch up, those are him.
Question: who's that new dude?
Yeah.
Like, that reminds you of Dexter, the one that like almost feels no
Dexter
pain.
Lumis. He's actually not that new. He's been there for a little bit. He's just
Dexter Lumis has been there for a while. But they just started really working on him. He's currently like my favorite new NXT guy. I just love his character.
Yeah,
he's actually an artist. My friend actually got art commissioned from him like a couple months ago. It's actually pretty cool.
Is he?
Is that the dude that has like the mustache and he wear the gloves?
Yeah, the little, like the weird
dude. Yeah,
and if you
when they had that little breakout star tournament, I really liked dude. He was different. Yeah.
What was cool about him? I told Eugene he reminds me of Brian Fury.
Brian Fury
from Tekken.
Oh wow!
But back to the match though, I'm gonna go with Karrion Kross, aka Killer Kross from the Indies. If you don't know him,
I'm gonna need somebody to put me an image of who you talking about in chat, please.
Who, Dexter Lumis?
Yes.
I'll send it to you.
All right, we'll find one to put him in there.
I got you.
But the smart move is to put Killer Kross over and flesh this feud out.
Oh, definitely.
So I'm gonna go with Killer Kross. Karrion Kross.
Yeah, it's weird. It feels weird because we're kind of agreeing on all of the same matches, but no.
Right.
It's his first big match. I actually about to say, I think, is it his first match or his first big match? I can't remember.
This is going to be his first big match.
Okay, first big match.
He's had a couple little matches where he does the business to some lower guys. And...
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, but no. Here's an image of Dexter Lumis.
Hey, fellas.
And, what's up?
We're hitting over 2 hours. So I definitely want to finish the card out, and then after that, I want to wrap it up.
Yeah. We're almost done. I think there's only about 3 more matches, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot to say about this one. It's very much that Karrion probably needs to win because he has all the momentum right now.
Pre-show starting yet, or is it starting at 7?
I think it's starting at 7. Next up for the North American Championship, Keith Lee versus Johnny Gargano.
Okay, I'm definitely watching this tonight.
I need Keith Lee to keep that belt.
I want Lee to keep it,
But
But I
that'd be a
think
good ass
Johnny's
match.
gonna pick it up, honestly.
Yeah, he had it for
It's
a while.
funny because I was going to say Johnny Gargano.
God.
So I guess it's safe to say that DIY is never coming back.
No.
DIY.
DIY was never actually officially back. If you paid attention, they used them as DIY for specific things.
Yeah, but we know that's said and that's over with now.
Yeah.
Dude, why would you bring back that right now when it did exactly what it was supposed to do? That was the longest fucking storyline that WWE has told in years.
Now,
From
DIY,
beginning
that
to
was
end.
Gargano and Ciampa, right?
Yeah,
Yep,
Yes.
that was their tag team.
Okay, that's like literally everything I know about NXT.
Man, I've been telling you for I don't know how long just a minute get on that show, man.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm going to go with Gargano because I feel like Gargano needs to go over on Lee. One, to legitimize Lee again as the North American guy, the guy that carried the belt as a face, because Gargano's heel turn right now is at a point where he needs to do some ill shit to somebody who's a legitimate strong face. I think they'll put on a great match. And if I might be remembering as well, didn't Lee beat Gargano for the North American title?
No, he beat Strong for the title.
No. Yeah, he beat Roger Strong for it. I'm sorry. So, oh no, Velveteen Dream beat Gargano for the North American title.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Lee needs to drop it to Gargano to establish both their spots really good and either push Lee up into the main event card for now, or to pick up a decent feud with them, a really good heel face feud. So I'm going to pick Gargano for this one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to extend the feud with this. Moving on to the next match, we have the NXT Women's Championship match between Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, and Io Shirai.
I'm going with Rhea on this one.
I think Charlotte's still keeping it. Yeah, I think Charlotte's keeping it. I don't want her to, but I think Charlotte's going to keep it.
You know what? This is the one match I have an opinion on. I think Charlotte's going to drop it tonight because I think, in my personal opinion, because they let John Cena get all the way to 16 and they stopped being cold, I feel like the only one they're going to have beat Ric Flair's record is his daughter, and this is in that progression. She's going to lose it so she can come back and take either Asuka's belt.
Bailey, yep.
Because as a matter of fact, isn't Charlotte wrestling Asuka at Backlash?
No, Nia Jax is.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So, but I do think Charlotte's going to lose it so she can come back and either take the Raw or SmackDown because she's at what? This makes 12 for her, right?
Huh?
I believe
some of that area, I think.
Probably not. Y'all drink all that water?
Yeah, this makes 12
that
for
sounds
her.
about right.
I don't
Look at the
think
back, there might be some water back
the NXT Women's Champion at all.
What's up?
So,
I don't think Charlotte should be.
here's my reasoning.
Yeah,
I'm going with Rhea Ripley because Charlotte only got that title because Rhea Ripley couldn't travel with the travel ban and stuff. So I think they're going to try to rectify the whole stopping Rhea's momentum like they did and put it back on her. But my prediction is she's going to pin Io Shirai.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna get anyone. They're probably not gonna. With it being a triple threat, you're probably right. They're not gonna let anyone get the legit pin on Charlotte.
Yeah, that's my prediction.
Yeah.
Swerve prediction though is Io Shirai wins.
Yo, she ain't bad though.
Swerve.
Yo, no,
She
she's
ain't
not.
bad.
I wouldn't be mad if she won. I just honestly think they're going to try to keep Charlotte as champion. And finally, we have Adam Cole versus Velveteen Dream in what they call a backlot brawl match, which is literally just they're fighting in the parking lot with cars surrounding the ring, with a ring in the center.
Oh.
Who Velveteen going against again?
Adam Cole. He is the champion, baby.
Baby.
I want to see Velveteen beat the living hot fire out of Adam Cole.
I do think this is
It's about time
Dream's night.
It's about time Dream get that belt.
Yeah, like, especially, it's another one of those things where Adam Cole has just broken the record for longest reigning champion, and they like to take belts off people, like, very soon after they do that type of stuff.
Yep.
And not only that, there's not much more Cole can really do with the belt, in my opinion. Like, he's pretty
Except
much done it
Russo
all.
didn't get it back.
Undisputed Era is well established now. They no longer need belts. They proved their point already.
Yeah, they did. Like, and even about to say, and even with all that stuff that happened with Dream a couple weeks ago, like, I don't think that's going to be enough to hurt this match whatsoever.
Speaking of NXT and the tag team division, yo, whatever happened to oh god, the Authors of Pain?
They're on Raw now, and one of them's hurt.
I know they made roster now, but what's the deal with them? Where they just left out of nowhere? No explanation, no nothing.
One of them got injured, so they're keeping them both off TV, which is what they do with tag teams most of the time.
Okay, gotcha.
Which is why you only ever see one of the. Which is why you never see one of the Usos.
No. You just recently seen one of the Usos. He was actually in the match to get a title shot.
Well, you ain't
Well,
going.
it's true, but the other Uso was with him though.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. They weren't injured at the time, and though there was still one of them. The next night they had a match, and the other Uso was in the match, which is what. So I'm saying, if like one Uso gets injured, the other one's not on TV.
Which one is currently injured?
If that makes sense.
Well, which one is injured right now, Jay or Jimmy?
No, well, Jay just wrestled. Jimmy was gone.
Oh yeah, because I read about the injury. He said he might not be out for like a couple of years, based on what his injury is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I saw a video. He was doing like some physical therapy on his knee or something.
Yeah, that just happened recently, like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about.
We'll see him like probably 2022 then.
Yeah.
He picked up that injury like right after.
No, but then that's what Anthony's talking about, because when they started, when Jeff got out, they had to do like this thing for the Intercontinental Tournament, and that's what he's talking about. Jay was by himself.
Yeah, by itself. So I don't know if you were talking about that, Julian,
but
this
the week afterwards, it had the other. But the week afterwards, they had the other three members, the ones that weren't in that match fighting.
And then,
no, you're talking about something different. No, you're talking about something different. That's not what I'm talking about. You're talking about when they had John Morrison, when each person wrestled, and then the next week the other people wrestled. That's not what I'm talking about.
No, this
literally
was like last week on SmackDown.
Yeah, it was last week. It was for the Intercontinental Tournament.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't remember any of that tournament.
Yeah,
I watched it, which is sad.
My bad, guys. I was at low ebb and I disconnected.
It's all right. And they got what's his name by himself too right now, Otis.
Oh
yeah, they got Otis by himself for a minute though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think isn't Tucker injured?
No, Tuck. They just separated them since he won the Money in the Bank title. And separate isn't even the right word. They just haven't been using Tucker.
I mean, one of them ended up as the breakout star.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like the weird thing is, they're not separated. They're just not using Tucker. Like that's.
Yeah.
Anyway, we didn't get Franco. We didn't hear your vote for Cole versus Dream.
I'm just getting back, folks. Is Tucker? Is he out injury, or they just separating him
no,
right
they just
now?
haven't been using him, like I said. But Franco.
Cole versus Dream for the title. I think it's Dream's time, baby. I think it's Dream's time. Yep. Cole has now become the longest reigning NXT champion. So I think they've accomplished that. Now's the time to pull the trigger on Dream and let him carry the brand. So I'm gonna go with Dream.
God, every single match except Io Shirai, Charlotte, and Rhea Ripley, we've had the exact same reasoning.
But now my question: do you think that they'll try to spark a grudge match back and forth between those two?
Between who?
The people going for the champion title.
Because they've been feuding so long, I feel like if they do another match, it's only going to be one more.
Yeah, it'll be a blow-off match.
Like Cole, let's say Dream has been feuding with Cole for like what, the last 2 months? It feels like.
Yeah. And if you really think about it, that feud's been going on
since he lost the damn North American title to Strong.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That feud's been going on for a while, actually, because remember, he lost the title, and then he got injured, and he came back on you injured me, and then he was wrestling all the Undisputed people. Then they introduced Dexter Lumis into it, and now we've gotten to the point where he's actually facing Cole.
Yep.
So,
like, he legit went from going against Roddy to all of them to Cole.
To Cole.
Yeah, so like I
So
said,
I
this
think it's
feud goes
time.
on for one more match at most, and then it's done.
Yeah, just the blow off match, Cole's rematch, and I think that's going to be it.
And
So that is my
gentlemen,
prediction
the
for that
whole
one.
card. This is looking to be a very good takeover, in my opinion.
Well, I'm actually
Then again,
So,
they all,
my
they're
thing is-
all good, to be fair.
Well, no, this is probably my second NXT pay-per-view I've watched.
Shame on you.
Bro, man, you should go back and watch the old ones, man. They got, bro, they are like all good.
Well, I
Even a
Look,
bad
you-
takeover.
Hey, Justin. Hey, Justin.
What up?
If you want to see how good an NXT pay-per-view is, go back and watch the pay-per-views that take place on WrestleMania weekend, on like SummerSlam weekends. Every time they do a takeover.
Well, I think it was Takeover New York that I watched right before
Oh,
WrestleMania.
trust me.
Takeover last year.
Every time they do a takeover before one of the big shows, they blow the big show out of
Yeah,
water.
yeah, yeah.
Out
It
of
was
the
crazy.
water.
It was off the hook.
Every time.
It was nuts.
Every time.
I got to see a takeover.
And I would-
Yeah, I've been having
That
issues with my
shit was
mic all night,
legit.
kid. I
Oh,
don't know
yeah.
what the problem is.
I would say for the last year, man, takeovers have probably been the best pay-per-views. I can honestly say I haven't seen a bad takeover.
Yeah.
Like there's been a bad match on there or a filler match, but for the
not a
most
bad
part, takeovers, every match is good.
That's what's up. Well, I'm definitely going to watch it tonight. I'm actually looking forward to it. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
it's almost 6:30 now, so it's probably a good time to cut this short.
Yep. Go get some
Word
food
up.
and
Yeah, I
get
just
ready to
lit the
watch it.
grill, so.
All right. I want to thank anyone who's been here watching the Mighty Jade Empire podcast. I'm DJ Justin Love. These are my boys, my brothers in arms. We're going to start with you, Anthony, right there over on there on the left.
All right. I'm going to take my last 2 minutes instead of plugging myself. This is what I want to say. Guys, make sure you comment. If you comment, we will respond to you on the next video because often we never mention comments, so we want to put that out there. I just want you guys to personally comment to me. This ain't for y'all guys, it's for me. I was in my car. I was able to join the stream. I got in the house, jumped on my laptop, and jumped back in the stream, so it's kind of cool. All I'm going to say is I could do that with cloud gaming. I'm done.
I like the fact that you did that. I like that.
I had it. All right, go ahead.
Who wants to go next? John, thanks for joining us.
Who's
Thanks for being
next?
here, man.
Oh, hold up. My mic just died on me.
We hear
We
you.
hear you.
What'd you say? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
wait. Your mic, I thought your head was the mic.
No. That's just a cue ball. Cue ball.
There you go.
No, I echo the same thing as Ed. I do think it's cool, and I've been said it was cool in gaming. It just, like you said, it ain't just ain't my stick. I do think it's cool though, bro. I done told you that.
Franco, where can people find you at?
Who, me?
Yes, sir.
You can
You
find me at work.
You can find me. Yeah, I'm about to say you can find me at Hilty in Dayton because that's where I work. But no, you can find me on Facebook under Franco Cochise Roberts. You can find me on Instagram under Nitty Mac. You can find me on Twitter under Nitty Mac. You can find me on PlayStation if you want to play some Destiny with me. I am Burgotti Kid, not Bugatti Kid. Burgotti Kid. And like Anthony said, I definitely would like to see you guys comment. And for me, not for everybody here, for me, I love answering questions. So if you got a specific question for me, definitely put it in the comments, and I'll make sure if I don't see it, one of you guys see it, and I'll give you a legit answer to it. Whether it's wrestling, stuff going on with world affairs right now, or what you can ask me some shit I don't even know nothing about, and I'll go find out about it. But there you got it.
That's what it is.
Like you just swat it down.
Eugene.
Yo.
Where can the people find you at?
Oh, Twitch TV, YouTube, Black Dragon 79.
That's what it is. Jules, True, anything you guys want to plug?
Nope. Y'all catch me on this stream whenever you stream, Justin, and I'm available. And whenever I'm not playing D&D on Sundays here on the podcast.
That's what it is. Once again, this has been the Mighty Jade Empire Podcast. I'm DJ Justin Love. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/DJ Justin Love. You can find me on the gram at DJ Justin Love, Facebook at DJ Justin Love. And yeah, I'm gonna be spinning sets a whole lot more on Twitch. You'll catch me Monday, probably at 2:00, spinning right here on Twitch. Thanks for being here, y'all. We'll catch y'all later. Peace.
All right,